on Radio 2. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Good morning.
And, our producer Karl Pilkington, but more about Karl later. We want to introduce the world to Karl, don't we?
It's extraordinary to think that there's people that have not experienced Karl. A whole new audience is going to discover
I think of me and Stephen as like Anthony Hopkins in The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Just taking Karl round the country, the world. Maybe just letting, maybe some doctors and surgeons might want to, after today.
We just drop a sheet, he's there nude, and they can just ask him questions, examine him, see what makes him tick.
You know, that's Karl's favourite film, by the way, The Elephant Man. He said he loves it. He said, the title tells you exactly what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
He loved that, right? He said, 2, it's sad. And, I was saying, why is it sad? He said, well, there's that bit where, they take him, to show all the surgeons, and, the Elephant Man is all naked and that. And, the bloke goes, the genitals are normal. And Karl went, think of that, the one thing you would want like an elephant, and he gets the head. That's why he thought it was sad.
That's the kind of mind process of Karl which we'll introduce to you later. In the meantime...
Well, yeah, you know, if you're expecting Jonathan Ross, then, you're gutted.
Yeah.
You probably know me from such works as The Office, Extras, Alias.
Yeah.
Karl, you don't know about. Stephen is more familiar. Stephen co-wrote and, directed The Office and Extras with me. You may have seen him in Extras as the agent. You may have seen him briefly in The Office. He is a goggle-eyed freak.
You're referring to the character there, are you, or?
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks.
No, well,
no, it's just a little
I'm just trying to paint a picture for people at Christmas.
Sure.
Steve.
Yeah. I wouldn't say goggle-eyed, I think goggle-eyed freak's harsh. You know, these are these are designer specs. And, yeah, admittedly I'm a little bit tall, but,
6'7".
Yeah, but let's not have a go at that.
Karl, we'll get more like this later. I think we should play a record. We've done introductions.
Pop a little song on.
But do you remember the first time you saw Steve?
Well, let's pop a little song on that, alright? Chat about it in a bit. Alright.
Bruce Springsteen. Bit of Bruce Springsteen. Santa Claus is coming to town. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas indeed.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello.
And, Karl Pilkington. If you have tuned in to, hear Jonathan, it's the last time I mention him. We haven't got him today. You've got, us for the next, couple of Saturdays. I feel like a stepfather.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? I want to say to the listener, listen, you know, I never replace Daddy.
Yeah.
But I am here, and I do my best for you, and I love you.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I want to go, listen, I'm doing Mummy now, live with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's exactly right, yeah. And hopefully that people will appreciate us and enjoy us just as much as Jonathan.
I don't care if they don't. In
Really?
fact, I intend to shave millions of listeners off this by the end of the
You're doing
2
a good
hours.
job.
But, the ones that have stayed listening to the end, they love it.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
And I think I've got to have Christmas dinner with them tomorrow anyway, so I could just have a chat.
So we're introducing ourselves. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Now, it's difficult to describe Karl. I just think you'll have to get to know him over the next, 2 hours. But, we have, taken the liberty of getting some stuff ready for you if you want to find out more about him. If you go to rickygervais.com, we've put up a special little page. Go into Who's Karl. We've got a little biography up of him, and loads of pictures, and you have never seen a head rounder than— he looks like Mr. Spoon from Button Moon.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Bod.
Bod
Grown
is
up.
almost like
There's
it,
a little bit of Charlie Brown in there. He's even got a little striped shirt. It's perfectly rounded. It's balding, like and it's not a sort of like a good balding. It's sort of like, he looks like a worn tennis ball. Do you know what I mean? He's got a little bit of growth.
It's not that sort of Telly Savalas cool bald.
No. It's just a scruffy little— I don't know what it is.
Happy Christmas and that.
What do you think of that then, Karl? Your introduction to the nation?
Well, you know, if we're gonna start picking on looks and stuff, like you mentioned before, we can go over everyone in this room.
What?
I mean, let's make it fair.
What?
Let's have a chat about Steve over there.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know how sort of I felt when I first saw you.
Wait, right, don't go mad, Steve. Let Karl speak. Right, this is his platform.
No, I'm just saying, you just said about painting a picture.
Yeah, go on then.
I wouldn't paint a picture of that. No, I'm not— Steve, you know I'm not having a go, mate.
What do you mean you're not having a go? It sounds like you're having a go.
No.
Well, what did you think when you first saw him, when he first walked into that room all those years ago?
Sort of thought he looked like a cartoon. No, Steve, you know, but you know that you look a little bit odd. This isn't like a shock to you. You've had this. How old are you now?
31,
Right,
but I
so
don't
you're
know.
30, what do you look like as a baby? I mean,
why is this a character assassination?
I'm not having a go. I'm just saying what it was like. Now, I'm used to you now. When I see you, I don't sort of double take anymore. I just.
He's coming out with this?
No, but, you know, when you popped in and that, it was just a bit of a shock, and now, you know, I've got used to it and that.
Good, you're happy now, you can cope now.
Hold on, you were shocked when you saw Steve Merchant. You told me once you went to school with two fellas who had big heads and webbed hands and feet.
Yeah.
And they weren't related. Why were there two people like that at your school, and yet you find Steve freaky?
You never said freaky. You said freaky. You said freaky.
Madonna hung up. Now, she's given us a platinum disc to give away.
Nice.
We got big prizes for Madonna, and
if people are rushing around today on Christmas Eve thinking I wanted to buy a Madonna platinum disc for my mum, there's no I can't find one anywhere in Boots.
We'll give you things you can't buy in the shops.
Perfect.
And that's coming up. But Carl, just I don't want to. I'm not stirring it, right? You started a little bit of a war with Steve.
You are stirring it.
Well, no.
This is stirring right now. This is the terminology.
But do you know that the fellas in your school, the big heads and webbed feet and webbed hands?
Webbed hands. Yeah.
But they hung around together, did they?
I don't think they did.
And they were nothing to do with each other.
No, I think people expected them to sort of knock about together. But they must have thought, oh, that'd be too obvious. You know what I mean?
But where did you live? Near a power plant? Well, I mean, why did you have...
I don't think it had anything to do with that, though. Just sometimes you get a little... Look at Steve, he didn't live near a power plant. No.
Listen, can I just stop you there, right? Let me just stop you there, because it always happens, as soon as we, you know, it's supposed to be a nice day, and suddenly you're having a go, right? Now, this got sent on the email, okay? Now, this is not me saying this. This is someone who's forwarded a review that was put on the web. It was a review of your appearance on one of Ricky's stand-up comedy DVDs, okay? I'm quoting this. This is not me saying it. It says that, Carl, through a combination of his intriguing way of thinking and slightly less than human appearance, right, Carl may just be the proof needed to muffle the cries of creationists the world over, as this missing link demonstrates that not only did man evolve from apes, but the process isn't quite finished yet. Okay, now that's someone else, an external person's opinion of you.
But the terrible thing about that is, Carl's feelings aren't hurt because he didn't understand a word of that.
I said the word creationist, that lost him.
That lost it. You've got to remember that Carl, you know when people say they're talking to their cat and they go, oh look at him, look at it, it's like he can understand what we're saying. Well, Carl's got that look, but you know he can't understand what you're saying. All right, Carl?
No, but I mean, now we're talking about your head and that, right? When you go back to, say, your mum and dad, it's Christmas time, right? There's a lot of people travelling up and down the country, going back, seeing their mum and dad, they probably haven't seen them all year, right? When you go back, is it a shock to them again? No, do you know, like, how you get used to how someone, like I say, I'm used to you, I see you a few times a week, I don't do the double take. But what I mean is, when you go back, do they sort of go, oh, here he is. You know what I mean?
Play a record. It's like...
Let's leave it then,
let's move on then, because I'm gonna get angry and we haven't even got, it's not even 25 past yet.
Christmas!
A little bit of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, oh, this is beautiful. Simon and Garfunkel. April Come She Will. Looking forward to spring already.
Yeah, it's a bit premature, but fine.
Well, I thought it'd be nice. Yeah. You know, it's like, if it's a bit
Let's
cold.
get Christmas over first, alright?
Christmas over. I love that. My mum used to go, oh, that's not over for another year.
Like
used to look forward to it all year. You know, buy things out of the catalogue, pay for it for the next 12 months, and they go, oh, that's not over now. Like, you know, 5 o'clock Christmas Day, that was it. When is Christmas over?
I would say Christmas is over once you've seen the Vicar of Dibley Christmas special.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think it was earlier than that. I think it was when the elderly ones fall asleep at about 3:30. They wake up because the kid's playing with something noisy.
Yeah.
A game that goes something like that.
Yeah.
That's when Christmas is over.
You know what you're getting this year then.
Exactly. I do. Alright. I was shopping with Carl. Don't give anything away that I bought, right? Because you know. But I've got to tell you something. We went into this one shop. I didn't get anything from it, so I can talk about this, for looking for a present for my girlfriend Jane. And it was a beautiful shop in St James's. They're all beautiful around there. And, it was this shop of, sort of iconoclastic, sort of antiquities, and it was, things that, this guy, you had to ring a bell for the bloke to come down. Carl was just so confused about that. He's used to someone standing there going, can I help you?
Yeah.
What size do you want? Right, and he came down and he loved his stuff. He absolutely loved his stuff.
And what sort of stuff was it?
It was sort of stuff that he'd, got from sort of like churches. It wasn't tat.
Old stuff,
it was carvings. It was from the 16th and 17th century of saints, right? And I said, this is beautiful. And I was talking to him. I said, what's this news going on? That's so-and-so. I was going, oh, that's wonderful. Look at that. Right? And I overheard Karl trying to make conversation. He said to this guy who's so proud of this stuff, and it's, you know, at 16th century, 17th century, he went, what's the newest thing you've got in here?
Brilliant.
And the bloke went, we've got a statue, I think, from the 60s of then, and he went, alright. He went, when was the last time you got something in? Bloke went, we get something in every day. And afterwards I said, why were you asking those questions? He was going, it always confused me with antiques. What happens when they sell that out? They're not making any more.
I just thought it was a sort of good business to get into, that's all. Do you know what I mean?
Why?
There'll always be antiques,
Well, you said it yourself. The place wasn't buzzing, was it? He had to pop down. He couldn't even be bothered sort of sat in the shop waiting for a customer, because probably days go by. Nothing's happening. Doesn't it? For you to ring the bell, to wake him up to say, oh, I'll come and look at this old stuff. Forget it. You know what I mean?
So you've got all your Christmas shopping then, Karl? You're bang up to date, you don't?
Yeah, I've sorted, you know, most stuff out. But here's one for you, right? Here's a little question.
Go on.
Right, I've finished a job, right, where I've been working somewhere for like, about 10 years.
You can say it.
No.
XFM,
I've been working
where
there.
we met.
It was a good little place to work and everything, but I've had enough. You know what I mean, after 10 years.
You're moving on. We've gone up in the world.
Move on, haven't you? You've got to, you know, try.
We're on Radio 2.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Right, so you're moving on, yeah?
Right. And, so they gave me a present, right? They sort of said to me, what do you want?
Yeah.
You've done 10 years. Tell us what gift you want and we'll sort you out.
Yeah.
Right? So I said, oh, brilliant, yeah. So, I knew Suzanne, my girlfriend, wanted a camera.
No.
Right? So,
okay.
They got me a camera, they wrapped it up, and they, you know, like me leaving day, they said open it, and I go, no, I don't want to open it, no, what's going on? So, well, I'm gonna give it to Suzanne for Christmas.
No.
Now, why
that's a disgrace.
But why is it though?
You can't, because it's...
It doesn't matter, because I could have had a gift for myself, and I didn't, I decided...
You can't... No. That's second hand.
It's not second hand, it hasn't been used, I haven't even opened it.
But surely the point about buying a gift for your girlfriend is that you've gone in the shop and done it. There's a sentimental attachment.
It's not about that.
It is though. It is about that.
It's about them getting what they want.
So if you're walking down the street and you saw a camera and it was brand new and you went, oh yeah, Suzanne, happy Christmas. So are you going to tell her it was a gift?
Well, no, she's at work today, so she doesn't need to know.
So you're not even going to tell her?
No point.
So you've got deceit as well as meanness.
Doesn't matter, does it? She's got what she wanted.
That's disgraceful. Okay, I want to get the people on the text. Do you think that Karl's in the right? 882921. It should Karl be giving a gift to his girlfriend, which he's passing off
she's getting
as his own present?
Wait a minute, right?
It doesn't matter what the...
You cannot... The thing is, it would be okay if you were giving it to a mate or something, but I'd still tell them. I'd even say, look, I didn't pay for this, but I know you wanted a camera. But you're not going to tell her, so she's going to think you spent 700 quid or something on it.
250.
He's not even a £700 free camera. She'll never think that I spent 700 quid on her.
That is brilliant. Well, it's an improvement on last year. Do you remember what you got last year?
I'd rather he told us.
Come on. What did you get? What did you get? Your partner, your life partner,
your lover,
your last year for Christmas. How long have you been with her first?
11 years.
11 years. What did you get her last year for Christmas?
Some condoms.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
Bang up 2 packets.
Yeah, no, you bought her a big bumper packet of condoms from Boots or something, and you got 1 packet free.
Yeah, and they've all been used.
Walk Out to Winter, Aztec Camera, before that The Pretenders, it's Ricky Gervais' show, but I'm here, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington's here. Christmas Eve, Radio 2, Merry Christmas.
Producer just came in and said, oh, can you give out the web address, bbc.co.uk/Radio 2. I went, yeah, why? He said, well, just in case people want to listen to this show again.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
He's got a sense of humour.
Yeah, as if. So, Karl, we've had loads and loads of emails.
We should just, in case you've just tuned in, Karl received a leaving gift of a digital camera, when he's leaving a job, and he's not even unwrapped it, he's giving it straight to his girlfriend for tomorrow, which... I think Ricky and I feel
he's not going to tell her it was free, and he thinks there's nothing
free. It wasn't free, it was 10 years of my life I've had to do that.
Yeah, and you've been 11 with us. Think what she's gone through. She's had 11 years of her life. Wow, you know, Karl would have been okay if he'd have kept quiet. Idiot. Dave in Salford. He's right. Yeah, he's right. It's a disgrace. He has dishonoured his former employer and his girlfriend from Graham and Lane. That's a good point. It's an insult to the people that work there. They got you something they thought they really liked. They really went out and thought about it. They wrapped it up. You didn't even unwrap it in front, because you couldn't be bothered to wrap it again even. You could have unwrapped it. Do you know what, I really hope's happened? That before they gave it to you, they took pictures of their genitals in the toilet as a little, way. So your girlfriend's gonna get that, and get loads and loads and loads of pictures of offal from people who work at XFM. That would be the best Christmas gift for me.
What if there's a note or something inside that they've all written and signed? To Karl?
Look, he's thinking about that. Look, that is the first time he's ever thought of that. Look at his head. Look at his head.
Christian Hull says, I think Karl's heart is in the right place. Don't know about his brain, though.
Good point.
A fair point.
There's one here. I once got a frozen box of fish my husband found whilst working in a chip shop. Karl's girlfriend should be grateful. Yeah, I suppose so. But it's staggering.
It's one from Jane. It says, better his girlfriend has the camera, as it looks like he hasn't got opposable thumbs. And that's people having a dig. They don't even know you.
But you know why I'm not a sort of big fan of sort of Christmas and buying presents and that anyway, because I've had bad experiences in the past when, like, you know, buying stuff for people.
Go on.
You know, like when I was a kid and that, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you put a lot of thought into buying presents, don't you, when you're a kid, because, you know, you haven't got that much money to...
How old are we talking?
About 8.
Right, okay.
Yeah. About 8, right?
So you look like you did, but you had hair, I assume?
Yeah, right. So, 8 years old and that, I'm putting a bit of planning into it, thinking, oh, you know, what will my mum want, right? Now, my mum's a big fan of, gnomes.
Right, obviously.
Like gnomes. Gnomes.
She must be pleased how you turned out.
And fairies and stuff like that, right? Little elves and all that stuff, right?
Sure.
So I thought, right, I'll look for something that's a bit gnomish. Right. And there was this shop.
You got Noel Edmonds.
There was this shop sort of down the road that, sort of sold a lot of tat, right?
Oh, good.
Sort of you know, one of them shops where everything's quite cheap, it's sort of, they sell things individually that shouldn't be, like toilet rolls and that sort of thing.
They used to be called everything's a pound. Now there's some that everything's 99p. Because a pound wasn't cheap enough.
They're undercutting the pound shop. Yeah, go on.
So anyway, so I had a look in there, thinking, right, let's have a look, see if they've got any gnomes and that. And the closest thing they had, right, was this figure that's called a Victoria Plum. Right?
Victoria Plum, right?
Yeah, it's like a little woman.
No, Victoria Plum. Right, get it right.
It's like a woman gnome. Right.
Okay.
So I thought I should love that. Right. So save it. I think it was about £2. Right.
Yeah.
Invest in one of them. Take it home and well chuff with myself and that. Wrapping it up. Pop it under the tree. Think I can't wait to see her face light up when she sees this.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know, like when you're a kid? I bought that like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Sure.
Right. And do you know when you're sort of excited and you want to give someone a present earlier?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sort of took my mum into this shop, right? And we're just walking about, and the Victoria Plum was sort of there on the shelf. And I said to her, I said, look at that up there, do you like that? She said, no, it's bloody horrible. Right? So it's too late. It's too late to go back.
You spent all your money?
Money's spent, it's wrapped, it's under the tree, right? I'm thinking, I can't believe it. So I said, no, that, you know, made sure she was looking at the right thing. So no, that little gnome woman, yeah, it's horrible.
Oh no.
Yeah, right?
Oh God!
Christmas Day comes, right? I open my stuff, right? She's about to open hers.
Sad.
This is like Dickens.
She opened. She opened hers and that, and she went, "Oh, that's lovely." That I said, "No, don't give me that." Do you know what I mean? You said it was horrible.
She was a liar.
Yeah,
for pretending, for not wanting to hurt your feelings. She was a liar.
And that's, you know, that's why, you know.
But things have moved on.
What are you on about? Yeah, but you don't forget, do you?
I still don't know how this justifies you not buying your girlfriend of 11 years an actual gift.
Although that was quite touching.
Yeah.
Play a Christmas song, I'm welling up. Let Me Try Again by Frank Sinatra. Beautiful song.
Wonderful.
On BBC Radio 2. Well, it's that time of year when we give gifts.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, we like to give, and we like to keep on giving.
Yeah.
And that's why it's competition time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
nice link.
Yeah. Right. We have a platinum disc of Madonna's album Confessions on a Dance Floor. It's framed, classy, giving that away to a person who can climb inside Karl's brain and understand what the hell
this is the challenge.
he's doing
I think
with
we
this
should give him a
composition.
chance. Or also, we've got just because we can. This is like one of those gifts we made,
Yeah.
isn't it? We didn't buy it, we made it. This is extras on DVD signed by both of us.
See, that's like giving away my camera in a way. You know what I mean? How many? You've got loads of copies of them. There's no thought in it. You're having a go. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah, but we were involved with that.
yeah, we sort of did that. You
Well,
did.
I did 10 years.
If you designed the camera and then built it in a little factory somewhere and gave it to Suzanne, I'd let you off, but you didn't. Also, a copy of More Flannel, which I signed,
again.
and some Flannel collectibles. Now they're handmade, you see. Now listen, that's not a cheap gift. A set of those Flannel collectibles, right? They're not toys. They're handcrafted, right? They went for £600 on eBay. So that's a good gift.
So if you win them, pop them on eBay. 600 quid.
Or 605. You know, they're very rare.
Yeah. Davey in Belfast, by the way, just the last one. He says, I've bought my wife a silver necklace, and I got the shop to put it in a box saying white gold instead of silver. Is this wrong? So if you're Mrs. Davey from Belfast and you get something tomorrow that says white gold, yeah, just maybe be careful. Pop back to the jewellers, just get them to check it.
He probably thinks he's safe because she's not listening, but any friends of Davey who's got a wife who's gonna get a silver necklace with white gold.
And she'll be showing that off tomorrow going, that's white gold. Davey got it yesterday. She'll be showing that off on Boxing Day.
Yeah, I wonder if you feel guilty.
Yeah, it'll slowly it'll haunt him, like Pose the Telltale Heart. Every time he sees it.
Tell the truth, Davey. Tell the truth. Say it's still a beautiful gift. It's a lovely thought, but don't lie. Don't mix a lovely gift with a lie.
It's this notion that Christmas is a chore. Oh, I gotta get the missus something.
I know, exactly.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
It should be a joy, Carl.
Yeah, well, I do. I treat her all year round.
How do you treat her all year round? We know you got through 2 boxes of condoms, but that to me isn't a treat. Waking up next to you every day.
Well, listen, are we doing this quiz?
Right, Rockbusters, and we should explain what Rockbusters is. Don't be fooled, it has no association with the popular TV show Blockbusters.
Although he's just ripped off
the name, but I don't want to say the quiz is anything like it. That quiz actually had a format, I don't know what this is.
I know.
We should give it, basically, Carl, I'm just thinking about it. You describe, what, you explain it, Carl, I can't even do it
It's like a cryptic.
No, it's not cryptic. Because a cryptic clue actually makes sense, every part of it. You might as well call this What Band Am I Thinking Of?
Yeah.
Right,
Go on,
well, what I do is let's sum it up in an easy way, right? I give you some initials of an artist or a band, right? That they play on Radio 2, if you listen to Radio 2 a lot, right? You'll know the sort of songs we play. Big, good songs, right? And what I do, I give you like a little description, like a cryptic clue.
Right.
About that band, right? So say like if I said, if I gave you the initials WH, right?
Sure. Yeah.
This is a classic one, isn't it?
This is a classic Rockbusters clue, right? WH are the initials of the artist of the band, right? And then like you say, right, I was in Texas, right, having a wander about. I was over there on holiday.
Yeah.
This is the
Think
clue,
of this, how long a clue is this?
Imagine this on
for the
TV.
gold run.
Yeah.
All right, but so I was in Texas and that, and it had been raining. I fell over, right? Landed sort of landed on me leg, right?
Yeah.
So that's the clue, and then I say WH.
Right. And the answer would be...
That would be like wet knee in Houston, right? Wet knee Houston.
There's no artist called Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
No, don't try and make wet sound like wet.
No, but I'm just saying that's well. It worked, didn't it? People got it. People
Who's
got it
Whitney
right.
Houston? Who's Whitney Houston?
Alright, forget that one. Here's another one, right?
This is what you're dealing with, people.
This is extraordinary.
This is what you're dealing with.
No, right. Here's another one then, bit easier, right?
Right.
The initials.
Well, no, don't make it easier. Make it work.
Right.
Okay, come on.
The initials ND,
Yeah.
right? And the clue would be something like, oh, someone's stolen me garden tool, right? Someone's stolen me garden tool. So you think about it, right? What's a garden tool? Oh, what's going on? Someone's stolen it. Nicked rake, right? Nicked rake. Nick rake.
Nick Drake, you mean?
Yeah, nicked rake.
That nearly works.
Yeah. So that's the sort of thing we're going to be doing. I don't know if you want to.
Well, let's play a record and then we'll come back with the actual clues and you can win yourself this platinum disc.
It's
good. Nick
It's exhausting.
Nick Drake,
Isn't Radio 2 brilliant?
It is.
It's good. I'm loving it here.
Yeah, it's just nice to be off a Tin Pot station.
Don't slag it off.
No,
There's
come on,
enough
that's
out there for everyone. This is Christmas and everything's lovely. Isn't it, Carl, in your world?
Rockbusters.
Let's get on with it.
Okay, these are the genuine clues. You can win yourself this Madonna Platinum disc plus some other goodies. And the clues are, please, Carl.
So there's 3 clues, by the way. We've got to get three right to win this.
Oh, this is so hard. I mean, the worrying thing is if you do get these, you think like Carl.
Yeah, which is really
So you
scary.
might want to give up all the goodies, just to not admit that you got a so-called Karl cryptic clue. Right, here we go. I'm ready for it. Okay. They better work.
No,
they better work.
They always do.
Because Whitney Houston doesn't work because her name's not Whitney.
Well, they got it last time, didn't they? So, right, first one. Put the,
I mean, it's just not. Imagine that in the Times crossword. But the,
Listen, do you know the little information?
What are we doing?
No, listen,
what are you doing?
Hear it. Let's hear the clue.
Is this still the clue you're reading?
This is what I'm giving it
Rick,
to you
we
now.
want to get this done before Christmas. Let him hear it.
Oh,
Right.
Karl.
Listen, do you know the little information card you get in a mobile phone?
Oh, sorry, is this the clue?
This is the clue.
Okay, fine.
What you're gonna say before you...
Rick, you're annoying me! Okay. Be quiet. Now let's hear it.
The little information card you get on your mobile phone, right?
No, what's that?
Well, this is the question. What is it, right? But, put that...
Shut up! Will you be quiet? We got to do the news in 5 minutes. We got to get 3 clues out.
You put that little card, right, on a spider's house. The initials...
This is the ramblings of a madman!
Listen.
Oh,
The initials. If they don't hear the initials, they can't play along. It's important, right? SW.
Right, I'm making a note of this.
SW, right? So that little card you get...
information card from the
I've got it. I've got it.
Right. Put that on a spider's house, right? Second one. Diana Ross isn't feeling that good. Right?
That's the clue.
Yeah, that's the clue. ID, right? Diana Ross isn't feeling that sort of good at the moment.
It's different. How can it be cryptic if the clue's different the next time?
Diana Ross isn't feeling that good. ID, right?
Okay.
Right.
And then the last one, that stuff that I put on my toast, right?
Right.
It doesn't taste sharp enough, right? That stuff I put on my toast, doesn't taste sharp enough. Right?
Bob Holness, eat your heart out.
The initials JB, right? So there you go. There's the 3 clues.
Okay, so
Right, I've got that and it doesn't work.
Well,
Does not work.
Just got until after the new... Hang on a sec, Karl. Let me give out how the people can get in touch.
Alright,
Come
go
on,
on.
I know you're excited to do the clues again. You can text us 882991. You can give us a call 0500 288 291. Or you can email gervais@bbc.co.uk. The clues again then, Karl?
well, quickly, that information card you get on your mobile, just pop it on a spider's house. Right? That's SW.
Yeah.
Second one, Diana Ross isn't feeling that good at the moment. What's up with her? Huh?
Oh, added stuff. What's the initial?
ID.
Yeah.
And then the last one, that stuff I put on my toast, doesn't sort of taste sharp enough, right? What's going on there? JB. Right.
T-Rex Christmas Bop on Radio 2. After the news, we've got the answers to Rockbusters. Good luck with that. Still time to get those answers in. Plus, we've also got some more stuff to give away. Second competition. And, of course, Monkey News. If you've never heard Monkey News before, you will not believe your luck. It is truly extraordinary, Rick. Am I right?
You are, but this is the real news on 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC. Talk by Coldplay. We've got some Coldplay stuff to give away in the second hour. Coming up soon, some collectibles and some signed stuff and albums and everything. But this is the Madonna one we're playing for. The Madonna gold disc plus
Platinum disc.
Platinum disc.
Is that better or better than work?
That's better, yeah.
Is it better? More
yeah,
sales?
yeah. Well, it's a gold one, but I just got the shop to put right platinum
Sure.
on it. Yeah. So it's a wonderful gift. So whoever wins this is sorted out, and we got some other stuff that me and Steve have made for you as well. So Karl, give us the clues again and the answers.
So we're doing it now.
This is it, Karl. This is it. This is the final moment where we actually get to see how your mind works.
And you've got a winner and everything. We're ready to go, right? Right. First one was, you know that little card you get in your mobile, right?
Yeah.
You put that
Yeah, okay.
on a spider's house.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
So I got that one.
The initials were SW.
Yeah, so it's web. It's sim on web.
Sim on Web.
Yeah, Sim on Web. I've never heard of him. I've never heard of Sim on
Is
Web.
that a French artist?
So Simon Webb, isn't it?
Oh, no, you said Sim though, mate.
No, but it still works.
No, it doesn't work, mate.
No, it does.
Doesn't, mate, because you said Sim on Web, mate. Doesn't work,
Well, they got
mate.
it. We've got a winner, so don't
Yeah, it
worry
doesn't
about
work
it.
very,
Don't worry
mate.
yourself,
Next,
right?
let's see if the
Second
next one works, because that one doesn't work.
Right.
Sim on Web.
Right.
From the pop band Blah.
Right. Diana Ross.
Right.
She's not looking that good. She's something wrong with her. What's
That's
up with her?
changed.
Right.
That's completely
All right.
changed.
Diana Ross isn't feeling that good.
Right.
Right. That was the clue. The initials were ID.
I've no idea.
Right. That was, you know, ill. She's a diva. Ill diva. Ill divo. Right. That sort of opera type.
I honestly, I'm speechless.
Again, they got it, so don't worry yourself about it.
Absolute nonsense.
Diva and Devo are two different words.
You're an idiot.
Right.
You really are a stupid idiot.
So well done, if you got that and that. Last one. That stuff I put on my toast.
Yeah.
Right, sort of doesn't taste right. It's not sort of sharp enough.
No, well, I got it to be blunt, and I got jam. Jam blunt.
But there's no artist called Jam
There's
Blunt.
no jam, no, there's an artist called The Jam.
No, but look like Jam's Blunt.
Jam's Blunt. I don't know anyone called Jam's Blunt, though, mate.
So there's your answer.
No, what's the answer?
James Blunt.
No, you said Jam's Blunt, mate.
Jam's Blunt. So
doesn't work.
So who's the winner,
It doesn't
Steve?
work. It's not a cryptic clue. It doesn't work.
Steve, who got them right?
You're such an idiot.
I don't know what to say to this guy. I mean, as soon as Christmas is over, pop in somewhere, get yourself checked out. Steve, I don't know how you pronounce his surname, Steve Toes or Steve Toze. He says, admittedly, this is the worst quiz ever.
It is the worst quiz ever.
He's still got the answers.
Nice one.
And he also says, say hello to my Mrs. Amy, who's up the duff for Christmas. Lovely, a wonderful poetic image.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Appropriate as well, you know, baby Jesus born this year in something or other.
Don't be going into that.
Why?
Well, it's, you know, BBC and everything. You've got you know, there's a lot of people out there, different religions and that. Let's not talk about little baby Jesus and that.
Why not?
But you can talk
Just
about
best,
Jesus.
just leave it.
Well, we've just been saying Christmas all the time. What are you talking about? What have you been reading?
I'm just saying.
This is like last year when I was at the Christmas dinner table with my parents, and my sister is religious, I'm not, and we were arguing about Jesus, the meaning of Jesus, and my mum said, "Will you stop arguing about Jesus? It's not the time." I was thinking, well, this has got to be the time. I mean, there's no other time than his birthday.
No, I agree with you. It's,
1 and 2. I think the time to talk about Jesus is Christmas and Easter. That's pretty much the big two.
No, it's popular at this time of the year, but I'm just saying it's best. You know, there's other people out there. Do you know what I mean? We're going out to.
But we're talking to everyone. It's just we just happen to be here at the festival of Christmas.
Right, yeah. Well, happy Christmas to everyone. That.
Play a record.
Seth Lakeman and Fight for Favour, one of my favourite songs of the year. Isn't that beautiful?
Very nice. Yeah, I've not heard it before.
On Radio 2.
Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, Christmas Eve. You know that already. I don't know why I'm
We're giving gifts. We're giving the gift of song.
Yeah.
And chat.
The gift of chat, the gift of Rockbusters.
The gift of
gobbledygook.
The gift of Karl.
Yeah.
To the nation. You cannot buy that. You can't bottle it. I'd like to see him bottled.
That'd be ideal.
Like a little frog.
Pickled in a jar.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He will be one day. He will be in Ripley's.
Yes.
One day.
Yeah.
And they say he used to walk round amongst us.
Exactly.
It's quite normal. But, let's not forget why we give gifts.
Well, yeah, just to cheer people up and that.
Yeah. No, it's 'cause the wise men gave gifts to the baby Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's why.
What would you have got the baby Jesus? I'd probably got him tokens. And let him decide, because he's very, you know what I mean, you don't want to get anything, you know, and then he doesn't like it, he wants to take it back.
Well, I'll tell you, in a recent poll Waterstones did, the favourite gift for children was Flanimals. Still available?
That's so outrageous. That's so disgraceful. It's Christmas Eve.
What would you have got him then?
Probably extras on DVD. I don't make any money from Flanimals.
Yeah.
I like the fact that, one of the wise men turned up with gold. And the other two, frankincense and myrrh, which as I understand it is what, it's like incense or something? Incense or perfume?
I don't know.
I believe that's what it is. I just love the idea that one of them stood up, they've all got together, they've gone, okay now guys, we're not gonna spend more than 50 quid each this year, alright?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. So what have you all got? Before we go in and see him, what have you all got?
I spent a bit more than 50.
What are you talking about, man? We just say we weren't spending, we were just gonna whip
just got him
cheap, like a token.
No, I got him some gold.
Can't believe it, what?
Well, I'm trying to make an impression he's the son of God.
But I didn't know, but we only got I got frankincense.
And what did the other fella get?
He got myrrh, and I don't even know what that is, and I'm a wise man. Surely one of them must have been furious.
Is myrrh still popular? Gold still very popular.
I hope so, because my grand's getting this year.
Really?
Yeah, lovely.
Well, that's why we give gifts.
Do you know, like, how he got them gifts? Right?
Yeah.
Little baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Were they for Christmas or his birthday?
I don't know.
Radio 2 indeed. You heard the Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York. One of the best Christmas songs ever. I think the best Christmas song ever, and one of the best songs ever.
Absolutely. No, there's no question about it.
It's brilliant. Do you like that, Karl?
It's alright, yeah. It's
good. Yeah.
Enjoying yourself, Karl?
What, being here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. I mean, we're getting looked after and that. I can't believe, like, you know, the amount of food and that we've got here. It's mental.
Yeah, mince pies, fruit, it's all going on.
Just like a little harvest festival going on.
Yeah.
Where you take the pineapple chunks for an old lady.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going alright. I mean, I've been sort of listening to Radio 2, you know, the last few weeks, enjoying it and that, and sort of, you know, making sure we get the show right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want it to fit into everybody else's shows and that.
Oh,
so,
yeah. This fits into, everyone else's show.
I've been thinking.
Oh, yeah, this is great, this show. This is perfect.
Listen again, of course, on bbc.co.uk/Radio 2.
But something that, Wogan does, right, on Breakfast, Terry Wogan, right? He does this little thing called, Thought of the Day.
Yeah.
And I thought we could carry it on. I've like a little...
What, you're gonna do it?
Just have a little thought.
Well, if you ever have a little thought, please tell us and we'll put it up on the website.
Oh.
You want to do thought for the day?
Yeah. It's a big feature, isn't it? He does it in
Have you got one? Have you got a thought for the day you want to do, or are you just gonna, when I put,
Well...
Alright, well, okay, well, no, alright, well, let's have a little jingle. Have a little jingle.
Okay, I don't know what the jingle is, I
don't, but just make something up.
Listen to Radio 2, the Ricky Gervais Show, with Thought for the Day, with Karl Pilkington.
Right, well, thanks for having me, right?
Brilliant.
Just like to say, you know, it's Christmas time. Just, you know, cheer someone up, have a laugh with them, make the day and that. So, happy Christmas.
That's it.
That's your thought for the day.
You don't need to mess about, you know what I mean? Just, if you can do that today, yeah, I'll add that. If you can do that today, cheer someone up. Right?
I mean, this is quite sweet. Karl is quite sweet. You know, I think I give him, I don't know, not child rights, because children are a lot more intelligent than Karl. I don't know, sort of, I suppose animal rights? No, no. Because they're
no, but it's
well, I mean, see, the thing is, Wogan normally has on, a priest or a rabbi or a thinker, not normally the modern equivalent of, you know, Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah,
so
no, but I've been busy, I haven't got time to, they sort of drag it out. They have like a fable or something, don't they? Cut out all that, right? Because, you know, they've got a lot of time on their hands when they're...
Vickers?
Yeah, just, you know, when they're in their house.
Well, not Christmas, it's their busy time as well, I would have thought. Christmas, Vickers. Do you think they only work Sundays?
Well, yeah, again, you know, I'm always a bit worried because I don't want to have a go and that, but, you know, they do alright for themselves, they get given that house to live in and that.
No, well, it's the house of God, they don't actually get to keep it.
No, it's not a house of God, they live next door to the house of God.
Right.
That's the house of the vicar. They usually live, joined
the house of Barrett.
Yeah, the house of Fraser. Yeah. No, the vicar lives in a little vicar's house, little vicarage, and that's usually joined onto the house of God. Yeah. You don't get those addresses mixed up. He doesn't get all God's mail and he's going, ooh, for you again.
Well, I mean, you've heard now the way that Karl's mind thinks. You've heard over the last hour and 25 minutes. We've got these, Coldplay collectibles and stuff to give away. If you have a question for Karl, okay, you've seen the way he thinks.
Brilliant.
A question that you want to ask him, you want to get his opinion on something, you might want to get his opinion on, the supernatural, on, you know,
civil rights.
Anything you want. Just get his mind work, because he loves to learn, he loves to be educated, he loves to ask questions. You can text them in, 882921, you can email them in, gervais@bbc.co.uk.
This is an example of how Karl thinks. Once, me and Steve were talking to Karl, and we told him that, they're gonna be able to bring back a mammoth soon. Bring a mammoth to life. He went, you're joking. And we thought, oh, that's interesting, and then we realised, I said, what do you think we said? He thought we said man moth.
A man moth.
Right? Yeah. And we said, what were you thinking when you thought it was a man moth? He said, I thought of a little moth with a fella's head bumping into a lamp.
Stevie Wonder on Radio 2, I wish, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
You wish you were Stevie Wonder.
I'd love to be Stevie Wonder.
He's great, isn't he? Well, Karl has started offending everyone, as we thought, but we've got to explain, Karl does, I mean, he honestly means no harm. He does these things
What bit?
What?
What for said?
Well, this is from Reverend, Gwyn Owen from Stockwood.
Yeah.
A vicar, okay? When I'm tired of being a vicar and working one day a week, maybe I'll become a DJ and do bugger all week.
And that's a vicar swearing.
Yeah, you made a vicar swear! That's how infuriating
well, hang on a minute,
you are!
Why does he listen to the radio if he's busy?
He's done you, Reverend.
Oh dear!
No, anyway, if you have a question for Karl, we're going to give away these Coldplay collectibles. If you have a question that you think will really pique his interest, really make his mind work, then you can get in touch with us, and the best question will win those Coldplay collectibles and a few other odds and ends we got knocking around.
gifts.
Yeah. But did
Time
I ever
was
tell you about
busy.
the gift? I think my father's favourite gift he ever received one Christmas. It was and I was so jealous of it because I was a kid and I thought this is
How old
this
were
is
you? How old were
amazing.
you?
Probably about 10.
Right.
And I thought this was dynamite. I was so jealous. It was a reversible jacket.
What happened to them?
Well, I know. I mean, they were all the rage for about 25 minutes, and it was. But what was great about it is, it seems to me with a reversible jacket, what you want is say checks on one side and just say plain blue on the other. So it completely looks like a completely different jacket.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, obviously, a little bit cheaper. Mum not splashing out a huge amount. It was kind of. It had a beige body and white arms.
Yeah.
Turned it inside out. Beige arms, white body. It looked almost identical. And I could never quite understand when he was ever going to utilise that. When people would think, you know, do you know what I mean? When he'd walk to a party, they'd say,
Well, I think it was having 2 jackets in one that was the buzz, not there. So he'd go into a party, and I go, alright, Ron, new jacket. He goes, yeah. Notice before I go to the toilet, that this is a beige body with white arms. Yeah, alright, whatever, Ron. No. But when I come down, notice that when I came in, I was wearing a jacket that had a beige body and white arms. You got that? Yeah, alright, yeah. He comes down, I go, remember that jacket I came in wearing? Yeah, the beige body, have another look. Have another look. That's what.
Wait a minute, that must be a completely different
It
jacket.
is a completely different
You must be
jacket.
one of the richest men in Bristol.
But hold on, but you weren't carrying anything, you didn't have a bag or anything? No, well, okay, if you're not saying it's a reversible jacket, alright? It's the best.
But the only idea of a reversible jacket must be so that people think that you've got 2 jackets. That's the whole point, surely.
I know.
I don't understand what's the appeal otherwise.
One black, one white, one furry, one.
sense.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so reversible, that's why they died out.
Yeah, clearly.
Like the dinosaur. Like the dinosaur, Carl, we didn't need them.
Didn't need them. Still be here if we needed them. Well, they're bringing back a mammoth, though, aren't they? So,
Yeah, they are bringing back the
it's a different
mammoth.
thing. But listen, you know, we're chatting about presents and all that, and before my little thought of the day about
It was a little thought.
just, you know, cheer someone up if you can.
Brilliant.
Right?
I mean, it's a nice sentiment, but it's, yeah, okay, go on.
Well, there's an old woman, right, who lives
In a
next
shoe?
door, who lives next door to my mum and dad, right? And this is what I mean about, you know, the old people. They might not have that many people cheering them up this time of year. So, you know, if you can, get them a little gift and that, because what happened was, this old woman living next door to my mum and dad,
How old are you?
this was only about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right? And, you know, I think her son's left home, doesn't keep in touch, you know, doesn't even phone her, I don't think, and that, right? Quite sad. And, I thought I'll give her a bit of my time, have a chat with her, try and cheer her up and stuff. And, I said, alright, how's it going? She said, yeah, not bad, I need a new, you know, dishwasher, right? I was going, yeah, and she was saying, but I don't get a chance to get out these days, you know, I can't get about like I did. And all that, I'm going, yeah, it's bad that. Anyway, I go to, like, one of those big superstores where they sell all electrical stuff and that, right? I'm in there, I think, oh, I'll get her a little catalogue so she can have a look, right? Got back, gave her that, I said, there you go, whilst I was in the superstore, get you a little catalogue so you can have a look at dishwashers and that. She's over the moon, she still goes on about it. It was years ago.
What, that you got her a
I
catalogue?
got her a catalogue, she's
I
always
thought you
saying
said you
still
were
got
going to buy
catalogue.
her a dishwasher.
No, just a catalogue and that.
Oh, but your life is sort of like, just bittersweet tragedy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like something from Shameless.
I know, but it is though, because you've got in the street, and there's people knocking around with, big heads and webbed hands and webbed feet. I mean, that must have been
Well, she's pretty weird. Anyway, this old woman, because she was
and
telling
that's
me.
coming from you.
No, well, after I got her the catalogue and that, she opened up a bit and she was saying how, you know, she's a bit odd anyway, because she woke up one morning with blood sort of falling on her head from a dead rabbit hanging over her. So, I mean, she's a nice...
What are you talking
What
about?
are you talking about?
No, that's what she went on to. She sort of opened up a bit and said,
What
oh,
street? What street were you born in? Where is this place?
Is it Elm Street that you live on?
she just said a man was a witch or something, so it was like...
Oh,
God.
like normal. Like you said, like it's normal.
It's just a bit odd, isn't it? But, you know. I mean, but talking about, like, where I live and all that, right? One story that I've told you before and everyone's always like, that didn't happen, right? Just a couple of houses sort of down from where I lived, there was this family who, had a horse in their house.
They what?
They had like a horse in their house. I'd been out with my dad, right? And I drove back into the, my dad was driving, he went back into the avenue, sort of went down to the bottom to turn round, to get back to our house.
Just via the OK Corral.
Just sort of did a little glance and I saw this horse being led in. He had a horse in there and stuff.
Well, have you been back to visit your street?
don't really, there's no...
Why did they have a horse in the house? I don't understand.
I don't know, I think they must have nicked it or something like that. It was a council estate in Manchester, and, you know, I've told that story.
They've just been doing a bit of wrestling.
Yeah, they made the horse go in with a hoodie, and they said, don't cause suspicion.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, we'll just pretend it's our long-lost brother.
Just pretend we're rehearsing a panto.
Yeah, it's two blokes. It's just two blokes in this horse. Wow. That's amazing. The little old lady who gave her a catalogue. That's very sweet. You see that? And it's just a little thought. That's your thought for the day, isn't it? Just cheer someone up. So nip down to Argos. There's free ones stacked up. Go and hand them out to the elderly. They love it.
The Jayhawks on Radio 2, Bad Time, is it? I think it's called Bad Time. So we were so distracted by all the questions that come in
These are great. Thank you so much for emailing and texting. They're brilliant. Here's one from Reverend Rachel Harrison. I'm also a vicar, and I'm making mince pies. We know our demographic now. We got a load of vicars listening.
Yeah, well, you know, they're good at spreading the word and that, aren't they? You know, tell people about the show and stuff.
And also mincemeat, clearly.
So, yeah, all vicars listening, spread the word. Tell them about Karl.
And have a great time tomorrow. It's your special day.
Although does Karl go against creationism or for it? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Would he have evolved or did something make it?
All I'll say to would God have bothered to- Is that in God's image? I mean, that's surely the most blasphemous thing you could say.
No, Bod made him in his image.
Yeah.
He's made in the image of Bod.
Is he the one who sort of decided...
Who? God?
Are you talking about God or Bod?
God and that.
Okay.
Is he the one who decided that, you know, we should move out of the water and walk on land? Did he decide that, or once he made the little egg, did he sort of go, run free? I
don't know where we are. I don't know what part of the...
Could I just say, if there are any vicars out there, could Karl come and do a sermon one day? I mean, we do a big donation to your roof, but can Karl just talk to 5 minutes to a really sort of like an upper middle class educated parish somewhere, and Karl just comes and talks for 10 minutes.
The only time that a congregation anywhere has heckled the person doing it. Get off!
Yeah, then they're chasing to the castle, carrying pickaxe handles.
Torches. Yeah. So we've got some questions for Karl?
These are amazing questions. Okay.
And just give your immediate response to them, Karl. Not too much thinking time.
Yeah, okay. Right. What would happen if insects were bigger than us?
Who's that from?
Vicky of Milton Keynes, maybe? It ran out. So, I don't think there is a place called Milto. It's from Vicky. Karl, what would happen if insects were bigger than us? She's going into the possible winner file there.
Would David Attenborough still like his job? Do you know what I mean? Would he start worrying? Because I've got that point, just because, you know, insects and that, he's always messing about with them, but would he be that keen to, like, 8 foot? Is what I mean.
If they look like me. Sure.
Brilliant. Okay. Look, this is a nice one. This is, from, Jason. Can Karl do something to prove you are on live and not recorded? I'm sure that will tax his little bald head to bursting point.
What's his name?
Jason.
How can you prove that we're live on air?
Come on, how could you prove that we're live on air?
Happy Christmas Eve, Jason.
No, we could have recorded this a week ago.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be Christmas Eve.
No, but...
Happy Christmas Eve, isn't it?
No, but we'd have recorded
Karl,
it and
think!
Alright, it's nearly 11:45.
Yeah, but we could have started with the clock knowing that we were gonna record it as live. We could have done this last Wednesday.
Alright, it's Radio 2, it's a nice day out there, sun's out.
Well, that's a guess. And do you think... Oh, it is sunny. Yeah, it is sunny, yeah.
Generally,
but hold on, wait a minute. We're in London. Someone listening in Manchester, it might be raining.
It probably is raining.
Look, he can't work out how to make sure it's live. Look at him looking up in the sky. Look at him. His head is gonna burst. There's a little bit of blood coming from his ear. How can we prove we're live?
My mum's budgie died last night.
But
Don't laugh about it.
It's only your mum that can confirm that.
Yeah. No one knows whether your budgie died or not. Was he pictured holding a copy of today's paper? What are you talking about, Karl?
I can't prove anything then.
You're so right.
Next question.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh God, Karl. Where would you go if you had a time machine? That's Bob from Manchester.
Where would I go? I can go to any time.
Yeah.
And how long, once I get there...
Oh, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, what am I doing? Am I staying in the little box and just looking out of a window? Or am I...
Let's assume you can wander around.
Okay, we'll do both. First of all, you're wandering round.
I'm just and I've typed in the year.
Oh,
to be honest, I'm not that good at history, so I don't know what happened when. So I'd be better off just sort of letting someone else have a go and asking them when they get back, just saying.
Carl, where would you go? What do you fancy? Just think.
Would you like to see dinosaurs?
Would you like to see, the Roman Empire? Would you like to see the 1960s? Would you like to go back and see your nan as a kid?
Shouldn't really mess with time though, should you?
No, you're not.
It's not actually gonna happen. No one's actually invented one yet.
What period of history are you interested in?
Probably, I mean, I sort of like the 60s. But we still sort of, you know, we don't really...
Next question. Unbelievable. Everyone's got an answer to that. Everyone wants to know where they can go back in time,
well,
except
where do you go back in time to?
I'd go back to religious times. I'd go back to the birth of Jesus, see what was going on.
Really?
Yeah. See how the frankincense and myrrh went down.
There was this, thing started, I saw it in the paper about 15 years ago. A guy put an advert in a local paper, I think it was in Sheffield, saying, I've been reincarnated. I was a cow at the birth of Jesus. Is anyone else out there that was reincarnated? It was the birth of Jesus. Fella got in touch, said I was a cow too, and they started a society called Cattle for Christ. Just the two of them. I don't know where they held their, annual general meetings. I
wonder if that's still going.
I don't know. But imagine if you were at the birth of Christ and they're going, oh, do you remember it? He goes, yeah, but I couldn't quite see. There was just a bit of wood in it. I didn't really see that. I remember the men, they were arguing over spending.
All I could see was your backside.
I know, yeah. So, think of that, Carl. Okay, final question. Right, okay. Carl, if you could, travel back in time to ancient Rome and take one modern invention with you to set yourself up as a god king, what would it be? What would you take back? That's from Amy. Sorry, Arvy in London.
Going back to Roman times.
Yeah, so what would you take back to make sure that you were king? You know, would it be a weapon? Would it be, you know?
Yeah, a weapon. It's pretty violent times, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll have a weapon if that's
well, what though?
Gun. Have a gun, take that.
And what would you do with it once you were there?
Well, I'd probably, I mean, I don't like killing animals and that, but they used to use tigers a lot, so shoot one of them in the head. No, because
there's no explanation why.
No explanation for it.
Just do it.
I love him. Okay, look, we've got to give this, I think can Carl do something to prove you're live?
Yeah, you completely foxed him. There was nothing he could think of in his tiny little brain to prove that this is live.
So, I think little Jason wins the Coldplay collectibles and, some other stuff. So, well done. He still can't prove it. He still can't prove it.
Play a tune, then we'll have some,
you could have just said, you could have just picked up today's paper and read the headline. Think!
Monkey news after this.
Carl, we have just had, a communique from Gillian Oliver, who's the communications, director for the Church of England. Yeah. Okay? She wants to take you up on your offer. She would like to take, you, to Manchester and let you give a sermon.
About what?
Well, don't you think that's she's in charge of the press and communications for the Church of England, and you've got to do this, Carl, for my sake. I'll go to church if you do this.
I've been, I didn't really like it. I had to go once to church. It was years ago when I was a kid, and I swore, right? My mate Jamie said, right, if you don't come with me to church, because he was Catholic, he had to go. Right? So if you don't come with me now, I'm gonna tell your mum that you swore and that.
That's how to get people into church.
So I went, right? Didn't enjoy it. I sort of got kicked out in the end because I was bouncing my tennis ball in the aisle and it rolled down.
Well, I better tell Gillian Oliver that may happen again.
Yes.
That's if you don't take your yo-yo or your Ninja, you've got to do it. I'm gonna make sure, we want a campaign. Please, email us if you want, Carl to do a sermon. And, I mean, I'm sure we can film this and put it on the web for you to see. Oh, please do a religious sermon.
Listen, we've barely got any time now for Monkey News. Now, a lot of people are probably, unfamiliar with Monkey News, because it's the first time we've been on Radio 2. Rick, how would you sum summarise monkey news? I mean, obviously Karl is fascinated by monkeys.
Karl believes everything he reads. He goes on websites that don't get verified at all. It's mostly nonsense, but he believes it because there's about monkeys doing incredible things, and Karl thinks that you know, monkeys can one day talk. He wants to live in the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
basically.
that's his dream.
He thinks the Flintstones is a documentary, and Karl, let's do monkey news. Sorry, the jingle.
Do the jingle live.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, well, I thought we'd go for sort of a Christmas feel, right? So, this one, it happened in Stockholm, right? A couple of years ago, around the Christmas time. There's this little grotto, right?
Oh,
everything he says is funny, isn't it?
A little grotto was set up and stuff, right? And, it was getting busier and busier, right? This little grotto, there was only one in Stockholm, right? Queue was massive and stuff.
Well, that's not true.
And this,
that's not true. There's
no,
not
but
one.
fine, just listen.
But that's not true. A couple of years ago,
interrupt the
if
news.
you'd have said 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, it was busy in that. And there was this bloke who had a kid, and the kid was saying, Dad, you know, can I go and see, you know, Father Christmas in the grotto?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I don't want to join that queue, it's too big, right? And loads of the Father Christmases who was in the booth, they kept jacking it in because the queue was that big.
What do you mean loads of Father Christmas in the booth? What
Because
booth?
they got through loads in the grotto, the Father Christmas and that, right? They couldn't act the pressure of the queues. The queues were massive for this grotto.
This is rubbish.
Right, so they kept getting through like loads of Father Christmases.
They just
right,
kept walking
different
on.
people. They kept saying, I can't handle this. You'll have to get a new one in, right?
Right. Okay.
Anyway, so this fella, right? The kid kept asking every day, "Can we go in there?" He said, "No, look, the queue's big." Anyway, one day, the queue was suddenly a lot shorter, right? Because they got a new little Father Christmas fella.
Right.
In the
Right,
grotto.
Karl. If this Father Christmas turns out to be about 3'6" and hairy.
So anyway, right, so he's going, come on then, we'll join the queue, right? So he joins the queue, and he's you know, the queue's going down really fast, people are going in and out really quick, and he's going, how's he managing to do this, right? And he sort of looks through the curtain, he can just see a little slight thing, and he can see the bloke who's, like, dressed up as Father Christmas, he's handing him out with his hands and his feet and that, right? So they're going, no, look, if you don't...
I'm going to die!
Anyway, so...
Please don't interrupt the news, Rick. I want to hear the news.
So he's queuing up, right, and he's going, oh, he's good on him, you know, he's got a new method of handing out the presents and that. Whilst he's queuing there, his little fella selling, chestnuts. So he thinks, oh, I'll buy some of them, and, you know, something to munch on whilst I'm in the queue and stuff.
Yeah.
And, so anyway, he's queuing up, he's eating the chestnuts, comes to his turn, right?
It's absolute rubbish.
What are you on about?
It's absolute rubbish.
So
cut long story short, you reckon that they hired a chimp to hand out presents, Father Christmas.
And so he brought the chestnuts in, and the monkey attacked him, and
he went off, right? And he's going, why is it all going mad? And
you're talking rubbish.
There's a little fella that sat there with like a little beard on and that.
Yeah, you're talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish.
Well, it's not worth me carrying on then.
No, it's not worth you carrying on, because again, it's absolute rubbish. That didn't happen. There's no way they'd hire a chimp, and there's no way people go, they'd see it was a chimp!
Forget it.
They'd say it was, absolute rubbish. If you wanna, find out more about Karl, what's the website address, Karl?
bbc.co.uk.
And I've drawn a little picture that you can win of Karl, and it really sums him up.
Alright. See you later then. Right. Next week, innit? So,
yeah. On Radio 2, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed, and, across from us, the little fellow who presses the buttons, because, to be honest, we can't be bothered.
Yep.
Karl Pilkington.
How would you describe Karl Pilkington for people who didn't hear the show last week?
For who didn't hear the show, Karl is, and he won't want me saying this, because he won't fully understand it, one of the most stupid men I've ever met.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
He has a perfectly round head.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. You can see pictures of him. Go to rickygervais.com. We've put up some, photographs, just snapshots, and honestly, his head looks like an egg.
It's not an issue though, is it?
What?
We're on the radio. Doesn't matter.
They're just trying to, you know, paint a picture for people though, Karl. It's important.
In fact, I have painted a picture. You can go to the BBC website and you can, I think you can win that if someone hasn't already.
But can you download it as wallpaper for your computer? You can. So if you want to see a cartoon representation of Karl, then there it is.
It's an original signed by me. I mean, it's not Damien Hirst.
No, sure.
But I mean, I think it's pretty accurate, Steve. I mean, for people who can't see it, but you can see a real photo or but that's, Karl Pilkington, one of the most stupid men alive. You know, some people still think that he's an invention.
I know.
He think that we invented him and we give him lines and stuff, as if we could do that. What, and we shaved his head as well, and made him live in Manchester for 20 years. It's...
People who've not experienced Karl before, hopefully there'll be plenty of Karl, later in the show.
Well, actually, we've got Carl doing a sermon.
Brilliant.
For, the Church of England. It's been requested, by the Church of England, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, I actually went and bought him a little Bible, right? He did have a Bible. He said the Bible's too heavy, it's got no pictures. So I bought him a children's Bible, which is embarrassing asking for that in Waterstones.
Yeah.
For a start. And, even that was too much for him. He was going, there's 200 pages. I mean, the writing, the letters, the font was about, I'd say, half a centimetre high. Right?
Yes, yes.
And, but you've read it, have you?
I haven't read all of it. I just got some of the highlights.
So
You only gave it me the other day.
So we're doing the history of religion, are we? Coming up.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean, what do I mean?
No, I'm just doing a little taster. What the problem was, right, last week...
What do you mean, little taster? What are we
Just in
trying to
case
sell
someone doesn't-
Bibles? It's
No,
the
no.
biggest selling book in the world. They don't need it. I thought you were going to do a message, a New Year's message.
No, but it's kind of been forgotten about a little bit, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because of Harry Potter and
Yeah,
stuff
you
like
say
that.
the Bible these days. He goes, what's that? What do you mean, the Bible?
No, but I'm just saying, there's probably, you know, a lot of people out there who've sort of gone, oh, you know, it's an old book, and once something's been around for a bit, you don't sort of visit it. It's like,
So this isn't Harry Potter we're talking about. This is the Bible.
yeah, I know, but
It's still very popular, Carl.
but this film's out. Do you know what I mean? There's films
Brilliant.
that have been and gone, and it's like, oh, no one's talking about it anymore, I won't bother.
So you're giving the Church of England a little bit of boost.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's Christmas.
Excellent. That coming up. Well,
Now, last week, like I just asked, last week, on the show, we were, talking about the gift that you'd arranged to, for your girlfriend.
how long have you been going out with her again?
I think it's about 11 years.
11 years, your life partner, he got a gift when he left his old job of a camera. He didn't even unwrap it, he just passed it on straight away, like, passed the parcel to his girlfriend. We were giving him some stick. Everyone, about 90% of people phoning and saying, you are a skinflint, it's awful. How did it go down?
She loved it.
Did you tell her?
Did she love it?
Yeah, I think she likes it,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, she didn't really have a go on it. I was playing about with it on Christmas Day.
Brilliant.
Showing her how to use it and that, and said, you know, she's paid for a holiday for us to go away. I said, take it on that, use it. She's loving it.
Did you tell her before you gave it to her that you'd got it as a leaving gift for your previous job?
Yeah, just before. I mean, I wasn't going to, but because of last Saturday, you sort of put a bit of pressure on and stuff, and I went off and bought her a watch.
Nice.
'Cause I
Good.
thought a little extra.
One of those ones with a little
present.
calculator on? From a Texaco?
No, it's alright. It's like a little square Art Deco, the fella said it was.
It is nice, I've seen it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, no,
So
but it
she-
did-
And how did you tell her when you came in with the big news?
What,
that,
about the
that you
camera?
hadn't bought the gift?
I just sort of said, oh, you said you wanted a camera, didn't you? And here's one I got from work. Anyway, here's another one.
Right.
So I just sort of told
Fudged
her,
it.
but moved on quick.
Brilliant.
fine.
And also, you
alright.
gave us the devastating news last week that just before Christmas, your mum's budgie died. How was Christmas in your household? Was it?
Little bit down. Little bit down, you know, with any death, it's always sad, isn't it, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly budgie.
Well, I mean, how long she had it? Probably lasted about 8 years or something, which is pretty good, isn't it, for a budgie?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Came unexpected, wasn't ill.
Right.
And, I spoke to her the other day and I said, you know, how's it going? 'Cause on Christmas Day she was down.
Yeah.
Been calling her up every day. And I spoke to her the other day and said, you know, how are things? And she said, well, the other bird that's in the cage, she's got, some sort of parrot that's in the same cage as it.
Right.
It's been a bit down.
Sure.
It's missing its mate. So what she did, she kept a few feathers from the budgie that died, right? She got a rock, a couple of, sandwich fasteners, stuck the feathers on the rock. The other bird's happy now.
Wow.
Now I know that your mother explains everything.
And if you ever die, we just get a tennis ball, stick it on the end of a broom, she'll be happy.
Handbags and Glad Rags by Rod Stewart. That would make a good theme tune.
Brilliant.
Wouldn't
And
it?
then it would work really well, perhaps on a DVD. presumably that would still be available in the shops. Great for any, you know, New Year's vouchers you've got.
You're listening to Ricky Gervais on Radio 2 with Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. So good Christmases, yeah, all round.
Definitely for me. Had a great time, yeah. Carl?
It's alright.
How does it rate with, what did Suzanne get you?
She got me, you see, you were having a go at me about giving her, a camera, right? Which
Which
know,
was
I
given
can
to
use.
you, which was second hand.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Essentially
It doesn't-
second hand.
It doesn't really matter that bit. But it's a present that both of us could use, right? And you were making me feel bad about that. That's why I got her a watch,
Yeah.
right? Which in a way I can use because I can say what time is it.
Sure.
But
It's Chico time, isn't it?
but the thing is, right? She got
Not
me
anymore.
No.
she got me a little printer.
Oh, yeah,
Brilliant.
that's good, yeah.
Well,
What, you mean a little fella who works in a print shop?
just a little printer to go with a computer and that. But for me, again, that's a present that, you know, we can all be using.
You are so ungrateful.
It's not that, it's just that, you know, it's good when you're a kid, isn't it? Christmas is all about, like, your presents.
What did you want when you were a kid? What's your best present you ever had?
There's a few things. I mean, one that I always remember one Christmas, right? It was the year when computers first came out.
Right.
And there was one called the Sinclair Spectrum that I wanted, right?
What year are we talking? 80?
Must be 80, 83, 84,
right,
yeah. And, anyway, I think my mum and dad's got me one. You know, it's under the tree in a big box. I'm thinking, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
About the size of a computer. Brilliant. Anyway, Christmas Day comes, you know, I couldn't sleep and all that, excited like you are as a kid.
Yeah.
Get up, open it. It's not the one I wanted, right?
Really?
It's not the Spectrum, it was a ZX81,
Okay.
right? So I thought, well, I've best not show that I'm disappointed in that. You know, even as a kid you have, sort of, you know, that thing of
You've lost that, now you say, oh, it's not what I wanted, Suzanne, but go on.
Yeah, but, you know, so I sort of, you know, pretended I liked it and that. I thought, oh, just play some games on it, I'll just get on with it, right? Anyway, I try and load
even as a kid he had the weight of the world. I know.
His parents have saved up for it.
Look at his frown lines. Look, he's frowned since he was about 4.
Yeah.
Look at those lines.
Right. So, yeah, but this is why. You'll understand in a minute when I tell you the end of this story.
Go on.
So, I load up a computer game, which used to take about 10 minutes.
Was it on cassette? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a fax machine, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right. Anyway, it wouldn't load. I was thinking, what's up with this? Is it broke? Right. And I kept trying it. And my dad sort of, my mum used to get up early to open the presents with me. My dad got up at about midday, he couldn't be bothered. Right? Anyway, he comes down, I'm
so telling. This is
the picture he paints is so heartbreaking.
It's like Alan Bennett or something.
Yeah.
Or Dickens.
Yeah, or some of those kind of 60s back, like Kathy Come Home, sort of, you know, really
sync dramas.
So anyway, so I'm there, right, frown growing and that.
Yeah.
Trying to read this book, thinking, why isn't it working? So my dad has a look, and he goes, oh, you're missing a bit. I said, what? He goes, you need a RAM pack. Right. Which is a bit that you put in the back of it that gives it extra memory.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you
need one of them?
I'm like, what do you mean? It's Christmas Day, right? And we're talking about the days when, like, Tandy wasn't open.
Sure.
It wasn't open for days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like now, by lunchtime Christmas Day, everything's open again.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Then, you had to wait about 2 weeks. Everyone, like, had a big holiday and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, God. I actually started to be sick, right, with frustration.
Oh, no!
What?
How old were you?
Do you know what?
How old were you?
Well, like I say, I don't know, it must have been about 8 or something.
Oh.
But that thing of like, what, it's Christmas Day and I can't play with it, and I had to wait for like 2 weeks and what have you, sat over the kitchen sink, sort of going, stressing out. Hated it, it was a rubbish Christmas.
Wow. I love the idea of you going,
Just stress, isn't it?
What did your dad say?
He just sort of said, look, calm down, we'll get you one when the shop's open. And it's like, yeah, but 2 weeks, isn't it?
I have never heard anyone being sick from stress.
Oh, poor little kid, just so stressed.
Before the trail, we heard Feeder on Radio 2. Steve Merchant here with Ricky Gervais, Karl Pilkington. We were talking before that about rotten gifts, and particularly gifts that Karl's received in the past. We're just actually thinking now, because we've got to give away this, we haven't got to give away, but we're generously giving away a Eurythmics Platinum Disc. So if you're a Eurythmics fan, or indeed if you're not, but perhaps you know someone who is, and maybe you got some rotten gifts for Christmas, then you can get in touch with us, let us know what the worst gift is that either you received this year, or maybe even in the past, you know, something that really you just was terrible. Maybe you, like Karl, had the poker face when you received it, you politely opened the box, but inside you were dying. But you can get in touch with us, 88291, we've got the email gervais@bbc.co.uk, or you can phone us, 0500 288 291. The worst gift ever will receive the Eurythmics Platinum Disc.
Well, talking of gifts, I got my girlfriend a few gifts, a trip to Paris and a few little bits and pieces, and one of which was a trip to the theatre.
Nice.
A thing we'd walked past before and we'd wanted to look really great. The Woman in Black, which is on at the Fortune Theatre in Covent Garden. I bought a 4 ticket so, you know, we could, she could take some people. She chose to take, Karl and Suzanne.
Well, of course, now I think it's a scary play, isn't it? It's a spooky play.
It's a scary thing.
So
it's
you
about
thought instantly
ghosts.
Karl's the man.
Absolutely. And wasn't it great, wasn't it? And the theatre was so lovely, and the production is so lush, and it's genuinely really it's been going for 17 years. They really honed it, and and it was great watching Karl. At one point, we were in a box, which I'll tell you about in a minute,
Right,
and and I just pointed to show Karl that this face was appearing, right? But as as I was pointing, he didn't see me pointing, my finger came into his peripheral vision, and he went, "Oh!" And I laughed for about 5 minutes, because he just saw a finger come in. I wasn't even trying to wind him up in that, 'cause that was such a bonus for me, and I nearly died. But the reason we were in a box, I went there and I said, "Oh, can I, get a box?" And they said, "Oh, the boxes are a little bit small and cramped." I went, "Okay." So they give you some really good seats. So we got some nice seats downstairs. And, do people go to the theatre these days to clear their throat?
Yeah.
And their nose?
Yeah.
'Cause I was surrounded by people going, which I find absolutely disgusting. That even annoyed me doing it, and I apologise to people at home listening. And, coughing and eating sweets.
Yeah.
Chatting about things.
Yeah.
Right? And I was getting a bad neck. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be silent, right? So, in the interval I said, I went up to the manager, I said, "Oh, can we wear the box?" And they went, "Oh yeah, fine, yeah." It was free, they didn't sell it. So we went up there, and they let us go in one. The first one, we had to go past some people in the interval, treading past, sorry.
I'm a celebrity, I get a box.
yeah, that's exactly, yeah. So they probably think, oh, they've given it to him for a special treatment. I was gonna buy it, it's no extra money, but they just didn't sell it, 'cause it was, you know.
Another reason to hate you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But we went in there was only 3 chairs. So I went, oh, was the other box has got 4 chairs. Karl went, "I'm not going out there again." Right, so we said, "I'll sit on the floor." Imagine him sitting on the floor.
Were you sat on the floor with your little head peeking over the edge of the box?
No, this is it.
So I went, "Oh, let's go." We went out, he was so embarrassed. Of course, everyone's going, "Oh, look." Walking past people again, went in the box. Everyone's looking at the box now.
Yeah.
Right? And Karl was horrified. Karl was trying to hide, but it was
to be honest, I mean, the idea of a box is you get a better view, but I didn't, because I was like, "Oh, I have to sit right at the back."
Yeah.
I might as well have been, like, near the fire exit. I just was like, I don't want to be sitting
No,
there
that's not the idea of boxes, to get a better view. I think it's from days where it was how you were meant to be seen. The boxes face each other, right? And you're meant to see who's in the other box. It was very a socialite type thing. The boxes are probably the worst view in the theatre. That's why some theatres don't actually sell them. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather have to lean forward and see something than be surrounded by people chewing
But
and sniffing.
it wasn't that bad though, Steve. That's the thing. You know what he's like.
Oh, well,
I mean, anything that's meant to be like a nice relaxing night out, whether it's going for a nice quiet meal, suddenly turns into this, like, nightmare.
Well, I won't go to public places with Ricky, because there's always something that'll annoy him, and then he won't take it out on them, he'll take it out on you.
Yeah.
We gotta leave, it's too smoky, it's too noisy, it's not noisy enough. There's music, there's not music, it's an absolute nightmare.
Well, people annoy me, that's
stressful. So I mean, just the other day, right, I went out for something to eat. Nice, quiet, you know, Italian place. I walk in, there's about 6 people in there, having a nice, quiet meal, you know, quiet. I thought, that's good, he's not gonna complain about the noise and that. Sit down, I have, some arrabbiata, which is nice and that.
Alright.
Anyway, he starts, sort of normal chat, saying how he'd like to put my head in a vice.
Sorry, he'd like to put your head in a vice?
In a vice, yeah.
Not really.
Sort of normal, sort of.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I was just thinking that it would be lovely to put him in one, you know those vices that are sort of attached to workbenches?
Yeah.
Just so, not to, just put it in there so he's caught there, and then I can sort of do paint his head or something, or feel it squeezing. And I just imagined sort of squeezing it too tight, didn't I?
So he's saying all this, right, which I'm getting the sort of picture enough without sounds, right? But then he thinks, well, why not add sounds? It's quiet in here, right? Start sort of going, so your head's in the vice, tighten it, and you're sort of going, right? So he's sat in a chair, quiet restaurant, doing that. It's like the scene out of When Harry Met Sally, right? All these, like, tourists and that sat there sort of going, oh, Ricky Gervais over there. And then suddenly, like, from a look of like, oh, that's good, it's Ricky Gervais, to what the hell is going on?
But I just imagine this little head, because what he did, I just imagine him in a tighten, I go,
Is there any other radio show that's ever been on Radio 2 that has had this discussion?
Well, no.
Does Johnny Walker, OBE, ever say, I'd love to put Terry Wogan's head in a vice and see what happens?
Oh dear.
Eurythmics, Here Comes the Rain Again on Radio 2. We've got a Eurythmics Platinum disc to give away, and we'll get to that shortly. Keep your worst Christmas gifts ever coming in. You're talking about, Rick, about the, you know, nightmarish people you find now in any kind of, you know, theatre and the cinemas, because I love the cinemas, you know, and I'm a big movie buff. And for me, I feel that when I go into the cinema, it should be the red carpet treatment. I go all the time, you know, I'm a big cinema fan. I shouldn't have to sit with, for want of a better word, the scum of the world. Do you know what I mean?
By scum you mean anyone who isn't you?
Anyone who isn't me. But sometimes, you know, you end up going to the cinema, you know, on a Friday or Saturday evening because you want to be, you know, you don't want to be a sad loner who goes on the Wednesday afternoon. So sometimes you're forced to sort of see these people. And I went to cinema once to see, remember that film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah.
And I sat there, I thought this is great. I was a nice big seat, it was fine. And this woman comes trundling in. She was huge. I mean, properly mammoth, like the marshmallow monster at the end of Ghostbusters. Do you know what I mean? Kind of waddling in like that, with this tiny little flake of a husband. And she had everything. She had nachos, hot dogs, big soft drink cartons. You know what I mean? It's like, you know those people who, they've gone out to eat, and they pop into the cinema, and if a film happens to be showing there, they'll go and watch that.
Brilliant.
Basically,
they've gone for a picnic.
They've come to, yeah, they've
there's
come
a film
to
on.
graze.
Yeah.
And, so they've arbitrarily chosen this film, so she's in there, the trailer's come on, and it's not only is she greedy, but you can tell she's stupid. This trailer comes on for AI, remember that film, Spielberg film, AI? Yeah. And the trailer is something like, Jimmy is a 12-year-old boy, he feels like a human, he experiences emotion like a human, but he's not a human, he's a robot. Right, everyone goes quiet, and she went to her husband, how old was he again?
Oh.
So already I'm on my backside, do you know what I mean? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon comes on, right? It comes up, and you know it's in Mandarin, I think it's an Asian film. And it comes up, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She says, bear in mind she's paid the money to come in, she says, funny name for a film. Which is pretty weird. So, it comes up, it says Mandarin subtitles, she goes, not subtitles. It comes on, right, they're all speaking in Mandarin. She, to her husband, turns to him, she starts going, jing chang chong chong chang chang chong.
No.
Jing chang chong chong chang chang ching. Like, during the film. I mean, it's the film started and she's doing that. She's going funny language. Wing wang chang wing ching chang chong chong. And they start both doing it, right?
Oh, God.
So I get up, I'm so angry, I want to make, but again, of course, not too polite to actually say anything, so I think I'll make it clear what my feelings are. So I get up, hoping that the seat will flip back loudly and I can storm
Knock
off.
her popcorn all over her.
Over his stupid face. But, sadly the seats didn't flip up, so I just kind of huffily climbed over a few seats, sat down, brilliant, next to a teenage girl on her mobile phone.
Oh.
And she's on there, she's chatting away, no, I'll meet you after, And I wanted to grab the phone for her and say, I'll be honest with you, you're 14, and unless this is your broker in Hong Kong saying the big deal's about to go through, which I suspect it's not, I suspect it's Gavin saying, can we meet behind the bike sheds later? Put the phone down. People who are on the phone in the cinema.
I know.
It drives, I know,
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. See, you're like me.
But people always say, why'd you get so angry? Your New Year's resolution should be calm down, chill out, you know. But how can you chill out when this stuff's going on?
What's your New Year's resolution,
no, just
Karl?
with that though, I mean, surely people are allowed to, like, have a chat if a film's got subtitles.
Why?
Because you can read it, it doesn't matter about the noise.
That is the most stupid thing I have ever heard in my life.
No, I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
that really is the most stupid thing I've ever... So go along with your iPod on.
Yeah, take a ghetto blaster.
Well, yeah, you could if you can multitask. I mean, that would do my head in, having music, and I don't know what to sort of concentrate on. But if you, it's only like reading a book when you're on a train, innit? You've got noise around you.
What are you talking about? These films cost millions of dollars. Everything's perfect.
The music, the sound effects.
The whole montage, this mixed and someone comes along and goes, oh, I might as well talk to Gavin on my phone. Well, I was reading it anywhere. You're an idiot. You're an idiot, Karl. I think your New Year's resolution should be less stupid.
No, I'm doing, I'm gonna try and learn something new every day through 2006.
What have you learned today?
Well, I did a lot yesterday, so I'm having a day off today. but no, you know, just well, I did, didn't I? I did the Bible stuff and that. So I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, we've got that coming up.
What's your New Year's resolution to be less annoyed?
I suppose I should be more tolerant of others.
Do you know what Ricky said he's going to be?
What?
He's going to be more annoying.
Yeah, well, I just thought.
But this is the wonderful hypocrisy of it, because you've just been agreeing with me about how you hate people who are annoying.
Yeah, but only to friends. People like. The thing is, right. I've got to say a couple of things, right. The reason I sort of torture Karl is because I don't know. I've got friends with defects. I don't know why. All my friends are slightly weird or stupid or something wrong with them. Karl's little round head, brain of a fish. Right?
Yes.
I can't get my hands off his head. Robin Ince, he's got glasses, he waddles funny, he's got little thumbs. His thumbs are too short, right?
Sure.
I can't keep my hands off him, right? My mate, Rob, who did flannels with me, he's got a perfectly round head, his teeth protrude slightly.
He's in America though for when you need a round bald head, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. When I go to New York, or and then he looks me like Dave Hill from
Interesting
Slade.
that you're collaborating on a book, but he chooses to live in America.
No, yeah, but could I just say also that I do not advocate the use of vices on friends' heads. It's dangerous. Do not squeeze your mate's head in a vice. That's just between me and Karl, and you know. And
Ricky Gervais is an experienced annoyer.
And he probably wouldn't let me do it, to be honest. I have to offer him an awful lot of money. Also, do not smoke. there's no point. And floss. I wish I'd flossed when I was a kid. Also, if you've got a bicycle or anything like that for Christmas, please wear the correct safety gear.
Whoa.
What?
Well, I got a bike as a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And my dad, you know, I think the helmets used to come with them and what have you. I popped it on, went out on my bike, coming back into the garden. Dad sees me. He said, "Come here." I said, "What?" He said, "I never want to see you wearing that helmet again. You look ridiculous."
Oh, wow. He'd rather take the risk.
No one looks good in them though, does he?
Yes, they do. Wear the helmet. Neil Young and Heart of Gold on BBC Radio 2 with me, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
We were asking for the worst Christmas gifts you've ever received, past or present, and there have been some absolute stinkers here. Pete Archer says, "I'm diabetic, and I once got 3 big tins of sweets." I mean, that's just rubbing it in. Cheska says, "I once got a Christmas tree for my brother on Christmas Day."
Well, that's
Long-term present, isn't it?
Yeah.
well, it depends.
What do you mean?
Was it a plastic one or a real one?
We need more information. I got a Flymo from my 85-year-old gran, which was nice, but for the fact that I live in a flat.
Well, you could do the carpet.
There's one here, it says, Sid from Niggs, he says, "I once received a PlayStation 2, which I really wanted. I didn't open it for a few hours while we had lunch, and I was looking forward to playing the game, a bit like you with your ZX Spectrum.
Yeah.
I opened up the box, and much to everyone else's enjoyment, there was 2 oranges and a pair of socks."
That's cruel.
But that's like, I mean, that's what kind of a family's that? I mean, in Carl's case, he actually forgot to buy the
Or, Harvest Festival, the vicar's got a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
It's just the wrong label, isn't it? Yeah, he couldn't believe his luck. Coming up, actually, talking of vicars, a lot of vicars listening, apparently. I don't know how many that is. I don't know how many there are. But, Carl's gonna do a sermon. You remember, last week, he insulted vicars, saying they only work 1 day a week. He made a vicar swear.
Yeah.
Who said, maybe if I, give up my 1 day a week, I can become a DJ and do bugger all week. You made a vicar swear.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to, I just...
No, Gillian Oliver's phoned in, and she's the press, officer for the Church of England, and invited Karl to do a sermon. We've risen to the challenge. Karl's gonna do a bit of a sermon. We just say, that's when we've picked on. We're open to all religions here.
Yeah.
Maybe, in the future, Karl can do a sermon, for another denomination. I don't know, you know.
Well, it just depends, though, how sort of thick the book is.
Right.
So you want a religion with a smaller book?
Just a smaller book, and...
I just say I view all religions equally, because I'm an atheist. So I truly do view all religious beliefs equally. But, you know, just because I don't believe in it, a lot of people do, and Karl is gonna basically sum up the Bible. That's what we're doing today,
Should we play a record and then come back with the first part of Karl's sermon?
I cannot, I mean, honestly can't wait. I feel like squeezing his head during this record.
it, mate.
Stones, Waiting on a Friend. Great track.
Amazing tune.
So, Karl, you've studied the Bible over the last couple of days.
Well...
And you're gonna give us basically the Bible abridged, is that right? Just, condensed?
Just that, you know, it's that time of the year when religion...
Well, let's save it. Let's do a sermon. Everyone settle down at home, turn the radio up. This is, Reverend Karl Pilkington with, the history of the Bible.
Alright, thank you very much. Right, well, thanks for coming. Starting off, you know, I mean, I started off at the beginning of the book, what have you?
The Bible, we'll call it for the sake of argument.
Right. There's quite a bit missing. It doesn't say about how sort of God was already about, so it doesn't go right back to the beginning.
Right. Okay.
God's already knocking about and that.
Yep.
Anyway, he made the world, right? He did all that, right?
Yeah.
He sorted out sort of sun in the day and that, so everything's light and you can see yourself about.
Right.
He did the stars and the moon for at night, right? I was thinking about that. If I was him, I probably would have just let it be day all the time rather than having 2 systems.
We're not criticising.
No, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying. I mean, it's easy now, isn't it, in hindsight, to sort of say, do you know what?
It's easy to really criticise him, but he was working.
He sort of loosened the top. You just got it off. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he did a lot of the work. Yeah, cheers.
No, I'm just saying though, like they mess about with the clocks and that because of farmers getting up in the dark and that. If it was day all the time, less crime and that. I'm just saying it might have been worth an idea.
He missed a trick there, is what you're saying.
But he moves in mysterious ways, so you don't know why he's done that. He might be thinking something that your small brain can't really.
Fair enough. I'm not having a go. Like I say, I'm just reading it and thinking about it. That's what it's all about, innit? Education, get yourself thinking.
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, so he did all that. He made the sun and that, and then he said, "Oh, make some creatures and stuff." He made a load of birds, loads of different birds, creatures, animals, and that. Because with the world being so big, it's like if you buy a big house, you need more furniture, don't you?
Right.
So he made this, and he was like, "Oh, God, what am I going to fill it with?" So this is why he did all these.
Right. That's not actually in the Bible. You speculated there on the mind of God.
Well, I'm sort of just treating it like it's his big house,
right?
Isn't it? Okay. And he's filling it. He's making it look nice, different birds and what have you. Right? It's just my opinion. Like
it's making it sound like the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
So anyway, right? So he does all that, and he thinks, right, I'll make a little man and a woman.
Sure.
Who we all know as like Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Everyone knows their names, but at no point is their surname mentioned. Right?
Well, he's not going to have trouble with the post, is he?
So anyway, right, Adam and Eve are knocking about. God says to him, "Look, just enjoy yourselves and that, right? Do what you want, but I'll tell you this. I'm only telling you once," he said. He said, "Don't be eating fruit from that special tree."
Yeah.
So they were like, "Alright, fair enough." He said, "The tree that I'm talking about is the tree of knowledge."
Yeah.
So that's sort of made it a little bit worse, because it sounds good and that, and you're like, "Oh, knowledge."
Yeah.
But don't go in that door. Yeah,
it's that sort of thing. Instead of just sort of not telling them. Because I don't know, see the tree of knowledge, what it had on it, by what I can work out, is, it's an apple tree, right? And it's pretty tempting, innit, to have a little cheeky apple, because I don't know what they were eating back then.
Right.
Do you know what they were getting by on?
No, I don't know.
Right, so anyway, so they were like, yeah, alright, whatever. Eve goes for a wander about.
Yeah.
Right? Killing time and that. Bumps into this snake.
Oh, yeah.
And, snake said, alright, you got an apple, right? And, he was selling it, so he was going, it tastes good and that, right? And she's like, well, shouldn't really, but, you know, I've been told that I shouldn't eat that, because I think God said to her at some point,
get on with it. You're on page 1 at the moment.
This is absurd.
This is just unbelievable.
I know, but I'm just
get to the point. You're on page 1. You haven't moved on. Okay, we know Adam and Eve. What have you learned?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, he was saying don't eat it, because it's dangerous.
Yeah, I know, we know. Get on with it. Just get on I mean,
But the thing is, people do eat things that are dangerous, don't they? Like, and pufferfish, even to this day, people are eating stuff that can kill them. Yeah. So it's not a threat, they're not that bothered, it's an apple, right? They're gonna have a little cheeky apple. Anyway, they eat it, right? God goes mental at them. He said, I told you not to do that, I've told you can enjoy yourself and everything. You've gone against what I said. You've eaten the apple. Adam and Eve sort of got told off and what have you. They went off and had kids. That added extra pressure, a lot of arguments happened, and that's kind of part 1.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So, oh, you're an idiot. Really, you are an idiot.
Well, part 2 later then.
You better buck up your ideas in part 2.
On 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC. Great track.
Amazing.
Lynyrd Skynyrd. Sweet Home Alabama. On BBC Radio 2 with me, Steve Merchant.
And me, Ricky Gervais.
And over there, both of us.
Yeah.
Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Still to come, we should also point out we've got Rockbusters on the way. It's the quiz that's not sweeping the nation. No one cares.
Oh no, that's not fair.
Well.
No, look at him. Look, he's probably been sweating over that. He's been reading the children's Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's all he came up with. The first people were Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we don't know what their surname is.
Unbelievable. What an idiot you are.
Also in the third hour, Monkey News, which I think we're all looking forward to.
It's sort of like Darwinism versus creation, isn't it? Monkey News, Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Which do you like? Do you like Monkey News or do you like Adam and Eve?
Also, it's probably worth kind of digesting some of the year's big events, Rick. So maybe we should just cast our eyes back on some of the big
I
news stories.
think people are waiting to see our 3 opinions on the review of the year.
Yeah. I should just give away this Eurythmics platinum disc that we offered up in the first hour. And we were asking for the worst Christmas gifts you've ever received. And I want to give it to this guy because well, it's not like, you know, I'm sure it's fine, but it's just something about it which really amused me. It's from Toby in London. He says, when I was younger, I got a book about crude oil. I'd never expressed an interest in oil, and certainly not crude oil. But what I love is the parents, is thinking of that gift.
They were shopping, they were going, what oil is it that Toby likes?
Yeah.
I don't even, does he like
it's olive oil, probably, I don't know.
No, he thinks olive oil sissy. What's that one he loves the spouting out the ground one?
Crude oil?
Get him the book on crude oil, Mary. Unbelievable.
So, Toby in London, you get the Eurythmics Platinum Disc, well done to you. Also in this hour we've got some, Kylie collectibles to give away. So we'll probably do Rockbusters, and the lucky winner of that gets those. But I was just looking through the papers, of course, and it's the New Year's Honours list today, and, I imagine you're very excited about that, Carl.
New Year's Honours and all that?
Yeah, you're familiar with that, when people get knighthoods and OBEs?
I've heard about it.
Sir Tom Jones, you got to call him Sir Tom now. You pleased with that? Do you think Tom Jones deserved it?
Well, they sort of chuck him out to anyone now, don't they? So if he wants one, let him have one. Well, it's just, I mean, the way I saw it was, like, you know, the Queen used to give them out to people who, you know, did like big things like killing dragons and all that.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but yeah.
Now it's, you know, from dragon killers to sort of Joe Pasquale.
Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. You went in the jungle with Ant and Dec. Is an OBE.
Some people, actually send, famously some rock stars and big names, they sometimes give their awards back, or they refuse to accept the knighthood. If it was offered to you, Rick, would you accept it, your OBE, or your—
See, I don't know, because, one, I know it's sort of like not a cool thing, and I don't know if you should align yourself with that sort of thing, or whatever, and whether you're a monarchist or not, which I'm sort of indifferent, really. But I would feel rude.
Yes, I know what you mean.
It's you know, after we won the Golden Globes, an interviewer said, do you think you'll get a knighthood? And I went, oh, I don't want a knighthood. And they said, why not? I said, you can't do anything with it. I said, in olden days, you could ride a white horse along and have a big sword. Nowadays, you can just put it on your headed notepaper.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said something like, I'd rather have a name like Don Gervais. And the headline was, Ricky wants to join the mafia. Which I think is a bit harsh. I've been invited to the palace a couple of times. I think about—
Whoa, hang on, what do you mean?
I've been invited to the palace about 3 times.
Why? Can I just point out for people who don't know who I am, I collaborate with Ricky on everything except his stand-up comedy, which I suspect was not the reason you were getting invited to the palace.
No.
It's a little bit bawdy, a little bit blue.
My work on Flanimals.
Yeah, for your children.
Please get him along. I love the mung unga. I love that mung
So I should just point out that I've co-written both The Office and Extras, and yeah, I've never had an invite from the palace.
Yeah, but I think the Queen knows who's the main one, who's the driving force. You know. Anyway, right, so I get this thing review. The first time, I thought, I can't go out.
Why couldn't you go?
Well, I don't know. The second time I came through, and I said to Jane, it was like 6 o'clock, right? And I said, oh, should we go? And, it was very exciting, but I felt a bit funny, just going along to the palace, right? And I said—
Sorry, who was it? Could just be you and Jane and Prince Philip and the Queen, was it?
Well, no, there was about, I don't know, I think it was about 8. There was about 8 people, right?
So you needed some extra people for Pictionary.
Me, the usual, Salman Rushdie, David Bowie, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah, you're aligning yourself in the company of geniuses, I noticed there.
No, I'll tell you something about Salman Rushdie later. And I said to Jane, I said, we go for an hour. She went, it's not the sort of place you can turn up for an hour with some leaf round milk.
It's not your boss's barbecue at the weekend.
Pop in. I've got some other people to see. I'm seeing Tony Blair later. Anyway, cheers, Liz. But anyway, the thing that came through was, I will be attending, / not be attending, right? And I thought that was just too harsh to send back, I will not be attending.
Yeah.
So there was a number at the Marshal's house, and I called him up and he went, hello? And I said, hello, it's Ricky Gervais here. I got an invite, to the palace. I won't be able to attend. I said, I thought it was a little bit harsh just to send back, I will not be attending. He said, how delightfully polite of you to call.
Was it Roger Moore on
I don't know, but I went, that's not what he said. Oh, there's no trouble. Thank you so much for calling. I bet no one calls him.
Yeah.
I bet he doesn't get a look in. And it was really, I'm so glad I called and didn't just send back, I will not be attending. But listen, keep inviting me, because, I mean, if it's right for my diary, I'd love to come along and have a mooch around.
Yeah, just see what's going on up there.
Yeah, so, Salman Rushdie, right? This is the nice story. So, I've met him a few times now. Now he's out and about.
Sure.
He's never home.
No.
I bet his house is a mess.
Yeah.
Right. It was just after the first, series of The Office went out. I got invited to this, thing, I'd met Jonathan, actually. I'd met Jonathan Ross on this show. And, we were talking about being Bowie fans. I'd never met him before. And he said, well, I'm interviewing Bowie for this special Come Along. And I went along, and there was Bowie, my hero, was amazing. A couple of big celebrities in the audience, one of which was Salman Rushdie. And, Greg Dyke, who was, head of the BBC then, said to me, he said, I'm a Bowie fan, do you want to go and meet him? And I went, okay, right? So we went down, so it's me, Greg Dyke, right, and Salman Rushdie, going on chat to Bowie. I went to the pub the next day with my mate, and he said, what did you do last night? And I said, nothing. 'Cause I couldn't say, I was hanging out with David Bowie, Greg Dyke and Sam Rushdie. Why? What did you do? And I just said, nothing.
If, you can name every, celebrity that Ricky has mentioned in the last link, who he spent time with, then you can win yourself a prize, perhaps a signed copy of, Extras. Rick, as you know, I absolutely love a good cover version. I think that a cover version, if it's done really well, can not only match the original, it can sometimes even better it.
I totally agree.
And I think that that's Ryan Adams' version of Wonderwall. And I think, you know, much as I love Wonderwall, it almost reinvests it with a new beauty and a new majesty that perhaps we'd forgotten about because the other song is so well played.
Taking it away from Noel.
Oh, not at all.
But
it's almost kind of reinvented it, you
it's
know.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Great song anyway, isn't it?
That's what's weird, really, because you've done that, and that's kind of what I've done with Rockbusters.
Right.
I've taken something.
Well, you've taken Blockbusters and changed one word.
Sort of made it better.
No, not really, because those are real clues that work. Yours are the ramblings of a madman. He doesn't really understand what the word cryptic means.
A little bit
It's
stronger.
more, this should be called What Am I Thinking?
Well,
what am I thinking?
We should just introduce the idea of Rockbusters to people who didn't hear it last week. Now, I'm trying to think of some classic ones. Do you remember there was now what was it? The
Jamaican
Jamaican
fella spinning a fish round his head. That was Did Trout Spinners. And he tried to make it sound, I mean, it doesn't work.
You have to speak in a Jamaican accent and say the Trout Spinners.
Well, they wouldn't say Trout, they'd say Detroit.
Trout Spinners.
So it doesn't work there. So that's the stupid Wet Knee Houston. Yeah. No one called Wet Knee Houston.
Yeah. So you need to basically call inside Carl's head and figure out what's going on in there if you want to win these. We've got some Kylie collectibles for Rockbusters.
The good thing about crawling into Carl's head is there is a lot of room.
There's plenty of room.
It's
very much like when God created the Earth. You can just fill it up with anything. Birds. So, your Rockbusters clues this week then, Carl.
Alright, so as always, you know, we did it last week.
What can you win, though?
The Kylie collectibles, just
brilliant.
mention
Excellent. Should we throw in some stuff of ours? Just to
if you've got any tag
we get them for free, extras, flanimals, etc.
Got some of the junk lying around the office?
Yeah.
Right. So then, 3 clues, you text in with the answers, you win the stuff, right? First clue. The initials of the band or the artist are FF.
FF, okay.
FF. And the sort of cryptic...
Well, I know it already.
And the well, don't ruin it. And the cryptic clue, I've got snails, croissants, and baguettes in my palm. Right, what's going on there?
Oh, no, I don't know it.
Right, there's the clue.
Say that again.
I've got snails, croissants, and baguettes in my palm. That's weird. FF. Right, FF, what's the band or the artist?
The clue changes ever so slightly every time.
I know.
Right, the next one, me granny's is taking a penalty. She better get the ball in the back of the net. NM. Artist or a band. NM. That's an old artist, by the way.
Give it to us again.
NM. Me granny's taking a penalty.
I've got it.
She better get it in the back of the net.
It's a good one.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Alright.
That might be his best ever.
Wow.
There you go, right. And, the last one, this is a tough one, but, you know, we know how it works.
Wow. When he says tough, he means doesn't work.
Yes.
Does not work. Repeat, this does not work. Go on.
The initial of the band, it's an 80s band, I think I've got to help them out. A is the initial, right? And the clue is, and where people go to relieve themselves after looking at elephants and that. What am I? Right? So, letters A, the cryptic clue, and where people go to relieve themselves after looking at elephants and that. What am I?
And the initial?
A.
882921.
That works.
You can give us a call 0500 288
I'm getting worried now because I'm getting all these.
That's really scary. Gervais at bbc.co.uk if you've got an answer for, or you need all 3 of those to win those Kylie collectibles.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, well done.
Play a little cheeky song.
Yeah.
Razorlight. Golden Touch. On, Radio 2. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
We were going to have a quick assessment of the year's events because it's been a tumultuous year in many ways, Rick. You know, some steps forward. I'm sure you'll agree with the ban on fox hunting.
Absolutely. I really can't believe it took to 2005. I really, and then people moaning, we can't go and hunt fox. Oh, why not? You can't go and have a fox ripped to pieces. Oh, what do you want to do instead?
I never understood it because it was people getting up in arms, and it's a sport for them. It's a game, so it's like you can't play Yahtzee anymore. You've got to play Guess Who. Well, all right.
And all this rubbish about, oh, well, you know, it's what foxes do. Oh, is it? Oh, but why do you like it? You wouldn't want a robot fox, because you want to see blood. My brother-in-law was doing this job, he's a driver, and he went to this sort of really posh school, and he was talking to someone there, who, they're into fox hunting and stuff, and, he said, I don't agree with, just chatting to us, I don't agree with fox hunting. They went, oh, why, are you a vegetarian? He went, no, I eat meat. They went, you eat meat, but you don't agree with hunting? He went, why, do you eat fox?
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a ridiculous argument.
Are you pleased with that ban, Carl?
What sort of? I don't think, you know, we should sort of any animal, should we?
I totally agree.
And sort of, you know, respect their place and that. I mean, I went on holiday once, right? Went into the sea, right? Was only up to my knees, right? Got stung by a jellyfish, right? Sure. And what I mean is, like, you know, the sea. That's someone else's territory, innit?
Right.
And I could have had a moan. but I was like, well, I shouldn't be here.
Whereas if you went home and you were watching telly and a jellyfish came at you...
I'd say what's going on.
You would, wouldn't you? You would say what's going on, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You definitely would. If a jellyfish came out from behind your telly and clamped onto your face, you'd go, Suzanne, what's going on? What's a jellyfish doing? I don't go into the sea. But it's like when they, that bloke that climbed into a polar bear cage and got eaten, and there was a thing about have the polar bear put down. No, don't have the polar bear put down. You took him from the ice caps, popped him in a zoo, right? That's his house now. He didn't want to be there, right? And then someone climbed in. I love it when a matador gets gored to death. I love it, because the bull didn't want to fight.
Happy New Year. But also this year, of course, we've had the gay civil marriages, or the civil ceremonies. I'm not entirely sure yet what this is. Do we loosely call it gay marriage, just for the sake of ease?
No, well, it's just it's officially a civil marriage, isn't it? They're not saying it's a marriage as such, because I don't know if the church acknowledge it or not, I'm not sure. We got enough vicars listening.
They can let us know.
Let us know, yeah.
But I don't know if you read it, I read it in the paper the other day.
But the church is gonna look nice, isn't it? The flowers are gonna look brilliant,
really good,
aren't they?
But, I don't know if you read the other day that, I was pleased to read that John Inman, Mr. Humphreys from Are You Being Served, has just, been involved in his civil ceremony with his long-term partner.
Whoa. John Inman's gay?
Yeah, no, I know. Stunning, isn't it?
I know, unbelievable. I do like it when, one of those sort of people that are so obviously gay, they come out after, like, years, like Elton John comes out and goes, actually, I've got some news. Sit down. Mate, just sit down, I've got some news for you. Oh, hello, Alan. Like your new pink tracksuit, by the way. That's what I want to talk to you about. I'm actually gay. And they all have to go, you're joking.
They gotta fake it.
No way.
Like when someone knows there's a surprise party for them, they gotta pretend that they, oh my god, I can't believe it. But,
yeah, so what we've had, it is a year of disasters, which is, it does seem worse this year. I don't, maybe I'm hitting that age where I think there was, like, it was nicer before, but it was a year of disasters, wasn't it?
It's been terrible. Well, we've had obviously Hurricane Katrina and the tsunami and the earthquake and things, and it's obviously been terrible, and we don't want you to be flippant about that, but the only time I was praying for a natural disaster of biblical proportions was when I was watching Celebrity Love Island. and it never happened, sadly. And some of the dregs of humanity on that show, I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but Paul Danan is a joy, because he's a mental case, and I'd say that, I don't know if that's libelous, but, I mean, if anyone's seen the show...
What did you say?
I said he was a mental case.
Yeah, it's pretty libelous, I think, I think he could sue you there.
Okay, well, I'll take that back, but...
Take that back, he's not a mental case.
But he is, I think...
I mean, let's face it, before you, say anyone is stupid or a mental case, do the old binary sort, are they madder and thicker than Karl? If not, I think you know...
That means I can never accuse anyone of being stupid. But I love it. He was talking about Lady Isabella Harvey, and he went, I love Lady Isabella Harvey, because, the thing is, like, she don't like books, and I don't like books.
Brilliant. They got something in common, then.
The idea that something in common is something that they don't do together.
I love the idea that people like us would sit around just praying for a big wind.
Just a big wind.
And the only big wind was from Rebecca Lewis. In the Ghetto by Elvis. That's one of the 10 songs that Karl likes.
Yes.
I mean, I've never met anyone who is I don't know, so underwhelmed by music and the plethora of
No, I
tunes.
do like it.
But it was said about when I first got my iPod, which I absolutely love, okay, and I was downloading, I said it's got 10,000 songs, he went, what does he need that many for? He said, I like a Walkman. He said, you know, you're going for a walk, listen to that. He said, how long's the walk? When do you need 10,000 records? And he was trying to work with the ones he put on, and he got to about 7. And what do you like? You only like songs with a story?
Mainly, a song that, you know, when you pop it on, you go, right, I'm gonna listen to this for however long it is, and you've got to check it all out. You can't just turn it off and fade it off, because you've got to hear how the story ends.
But how many times can you hear the same story? I mean, it's a great tune, but it's not because it's a story, it's because the lyrical content, apart from the story aspect, and the beautiful tune, and the way he sings, and the production.
No, it's not about that.
Otherwise you just go, bloke, he born the wrong side of the tracks, tries to nick a car, gets shot. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but think about what you've just said, and what I'm saying is, if you get up to, he was born on the wrong side of the tracks or whatever, I'll turn it off now, you'd be going, I wonder what happened to him. So you listen to it all.
What other songs are there, songs with a story?
There's one, Johnny Cash, when he's nicking a car from a factory.
What happens there? I don't remember that song.
He works in a car factory, and every day he's going, right, I'll nick a little bolt, right? Yeah. Then he nicks a wing mirror, and I think he nicks like a gear stick and that.
So if you've got 7 songs that you like, I mean, it must be, what's your favourite song?
But how could you do that? Because you haven't heard how that ended now, you see? I've just told you there what he was doing.
Because you've probably got it wrong.
I haven't, I know what happens
I assume everything you say is probably wrong.
There you go then, you'll never know, and that will annoy you now. So, other songs I like, Rod Stewart, Killing a Georgie.
Oh yeah, that's your favourite song, isn't it?
That's good.
'Cause it's, yeah.
What's the story there?
Just about a little gay fella goes to New York, because that's, like, I think it was in the 70s when, like, you know, if you were gay and that, New York was brilliant. Yeah. That was like, you know, where they all went and stuff. Had a good life there. His dad didn't, I think his dad kicked him out or something.
No, I'm sure you're thinking of, Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. I'm sure you're getting all these mixed up just because it's another little gay fella, as you call him.
Anyway, he goes to New York.
He goes to New York.
He's having a wedding time.
Yeah, having a good time in the 70s.
Oh, you're right. His dad said, how can a son of mine not be straight? I take it all back, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And, he goes to New York and that. They go out late, don't they? They have, like, late nights out and stuff.
What do you mean?
No, I just mean, you know, gays like to party and that, they know how to live, you know what I mean, they get the most out of life and that. Partying late. He was on his way home.
I'm sorry, that's such a general
everyone goes out late and parties.
What do you mean they like to go out late?
No, it's just if you go in Soho in London, right, at like 5 in the morning, you think it was like rush hour.
But you assume anyone who takes a bit of pride in their appearance is gay?
Well, I mean, no, you can look after yourself and that without being a little gay fella, but I'm just saying that's what that song's about.
Can I just say, anyone's offended by this, he means no harm, he doesn't know, he knows not what he says, really, everything from Karl is totally genuine, he's not having a go, you live and let live, don't you?
He's a bit like Mork from Mork and Mindy.
He hasn't got a prejudicial bone in his body, but go on then.
Yeah, so, and then because he was out late, he was walking back and sort of, it's a bit of a sad ending, he gets attacked and that, but it's a good song if you want a song with a story. Rod Stewart, Killing a Georgie.
Brilliant.
Right.
So. Well, I'm thinking maybe we should get people to just text in, just a few people, if they've got any songs they can recommend to Karl. We may be, getting played to him.
Pinball Wizard.
Pinball Wizard Love.
That was a good one. That's about, blind fella.
Right. Deaf, dumb and blind kid.
Oh yeah, deaf, dumb and blind, right, but he loves pinball. I don't know if he knows what he's playing. No, it's just that, he's a pinball wizard, but, you know, if he's deaf, dumb and blind, does he know what game he's playing?
Sure.
Does he even bother putting money in it? Well, no, forget it. If you're gonna...
Hungry Heart from The Boss on Radio 2, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, and of course Ricky Gervais.
We don't mean The Boss on Radio 2, we don't mean Leslie Douglas. That was Bruce Springsteen.
I don't think anyone was making that having that confusion.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Just you.
Just in case,
yeah.
Okay.
We were doing, about 20 minutes ago, Rockbusters, special New Year's Rockbusters, 3 clues, 3 bands or artists. We've had a number of responses. It really worries me when people get this right.
Well, I was worried that I got it right.
Well, I don't know what it says about our audience. It's like, why are we bothering? We may as well just shoot off. They'll be happy just watching the tumble dryer going round.
I know. Well, Karl, come on then. What are the clues again? Here we go.
Right then, so, there's 3 clues. First one, the initials were, FF, right? And that was, if I've got snails and croissants and baguettes in my palm, right? That's like the clue. What band or artist is that? Think about it, right?
Go on then.
The initials were FF, that's, Franz Ferdinand, right? So like,
Whoa!
Like Franz Ferdinand, it's kind
Franz Ferdinand.
France, because it's like, oh, that's what they eat over there.
Should be French, really. You can't say France food, can you?
So France.
French food in hand.
French food in hand.
I've never heard of a band called French Food in Hand.
Well, a lot of people got it as well.
I know, but French Food in Hand, what are they? What label are they on? What label are they on?
Just French Food in Hand, so you got that, right?
French Food in Hand, yeah.
Second one was, my granny's taking a penalty, right? She better get the ball in the back of the net.
Go on.
NM with the initials.
Yeah.
Try and work it out. Your gran, that's your nan. Ball in the back of the net. That's Nana must score it, right? Nana must score it, right?
Nana Muscori. Okay, I'll give you that one.
And who is it? Nana
Muscori. Nana Muscori.
Yeah, so
Nana Muscori.
right, so that works, and then...
No, it doesn't work.
Then
It's close enough. It's close enough.
The final one was, the initial was A, right? And, the clue was, and where people go to relieve themselves after looking at elephants and giraffes and all that sort of stuff. What am I, right? Well, I'm a Zulu.
I'm a Zulu. No, I got it.
I'm a Zulu.
I'm a Zulu.
So, that works as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
3 good clues, as always, there.
Well, not really. Couldn't really call them cryptic, but...
Well, I'll give it to David Lyons of Aylesbury, Buckinghamshire, Franz Ferdinand, Nana Muscuri, and Amazulu. Well done, David.
He gets the Kylie collectibles, which is what is it?
Some Kylie collectibles.
Live signed
There's
stuff.
some signed stuff on there, I hope he's a Kylie fan.
We're throwing a signed extra DVD and some flannable stuff as well.
And on Monday, get straight down some kind of clinic. Have your brain examined.
Alright, bit of Kate Bush.
Kate Bush, King of the Mountain. Must be a song about the Tour de France or something.
Yep.
Wear a helmet. Always wear a helmet.
Good advice. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Rick, last week we had a spokesperson from the Church of England who was offering a spot at some kind of Manchester church for Karl to do a sermon, educate the kids on the Bible and all things religious. We've preempted that. We're first instalment in the first hour, and it was very slow.
You've got to do it quicker. If this is a Brit, I mean, that was nearly longer than the real thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're turning people off religion.
I mean, God only took 6 days. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and you were pushing that.
But this is what...
And he made it. You were just talking about it.
But this is what vicars do, isn't it? They drag it out. This is their living. If
they don't drag it out.
What do you mean? When you go to church...
What do you mean if they do? If they rushed it, what?
Well, they wouldn't have a job, would they? So you've got to make sure you do everything that needs to be
You
told,
reckon they're
right?
milking it, do you?
Well, a little bit. I mean, you said that, not my words. But yeah, that's why I can't, rush it. You've got to tell the story, haven't you?
Oh, well, you need to get the Old Testament out of the way, because we're not even on to the New Testament yet.
No.
We've only got an hour and 10
Well, I'll
minutes.
just do it right.
Jesus hasn't even made an appearance, and he's like the star, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we're all waiting for him to make it.
Yeah, he's like Brad Pitt coming in.
And I'll tell you, at the moment, it's a bit like the film King Kong I went to see. 3 hours long. It's 50 minutes before Kong makes an appearance.
Well, exactly. Let's get to the main event. Come on.
I can't now, anyway. Just where we left off, just in case you've just
Don't recap!
I'm just saying that Jesus is the main event because it's the Church of England. There are other religions where he's probably not as high up.
He's not as featured as
He's
prominently.
not, no, he'd be third on the fourth on the billing.
No,
right, go on.
all I'm saying is we left it where Adam and Eve had kids, they were arguing a lot, the kids didn't listen to the mum
Well, they
and
weren't
dad.
arguing a lot.
They did, they had a bit of an
The
argument.
kids did, yeah, but Adam and Eve didn't argue, did they? They were loving it. They were having a great time.
Well, no, not once he ate the apple.
I'm an atheist, and I'm trying to help him out.
Can we get on with it? Because we're just recapping what we already got bored of earlier.
Yes, come on! Get on with it!
I'm just saying.
Oh.
So the kids didn't listen to the mum and dad because they had a criminal record and that for nicking the apple. The kids were running riot, they were not bothered. So, let's pick up.
I'd like to apologise there. I'm just gonna say, it really isn't worth complaining. He doesn't know what he'd get off. In a court of law, he'd get off. He's got, I don't know, he wouldn't be culpable for his own actions.
Come on,
'cause he's an
even
idiot.
I'm getting bored of this now.
Okay.
Right, so, God, he got to a point where it's all going wrong, right? People are doing what they want, Adam and Eve aren't listening, all the rest of it.
No, he gave them free will.
I've got to
so
do
the story
something.
goes, oh, this is making me
So, anyway, right, so he said, how can I get rid of all the badness and that? So, he made it rain, right? It rained for ages, people got sick of the rain and that, right? Cleaned it all out, right? Before he did that, though, I forgot something that's quite important. He met up with this bloke, Noah.
They met up over a coffee.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he said to Noah, look,
Get an umbrella.
I like you and that. here's a little job for you.
All I'll say is buy shares in galoshes.
Yeah.
Words
No,
of
I don't want to give anything away, but you get a boat.
Yeah.
And get a big boat.
He said, what I want you to do, right, make this boat up. He said, and when you've done that, go about, right, and get 2 of everything. Right? So,
Man
it was
and
like,
female.
that's a big job, isn't it? Right?
Man and female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you know, because do you know I always say I always put myself in the situation of the person's job and that?
Yeah.
I was thinking I can sort of sort out a man elephant, man woman and that. I wouldn't know how to do it with a spider. What?
I don't know why he brought on spiders. I do not know why Noah brought on spiders, because he missed an opportunity there. Get rid of all things like that.
Yeah.
Get rid of the spider, and you know, get 4, you know, flamingos or something. Or get 8 chimps. Let's use the space wisely.
But the weird thing is, right, with the spiders as well, because he did get the spiders on, didn't he? It rained, right? It rained for ages, like, what was it, weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Raining that. So, and then he let out a bird, I think it was a raven.
No, it wasn't.
Right, come on, let him finish.
No,
It wasn't a raven.
This is a
Okay.
fact. He let a raven out, right, and he didn't come back. So already his system had broken, because he
Oh,
only,
I
had,
think-
he
oh,
only
okay.
had 1 raven left then, right? So he was like, oh. So, he said, right, he left it a couple of days, he sent a dove out.
Oh, that's it. That's what I know. You know more than me. I'll say.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well,
Is that what he did? He let a
yeah.
raven out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Never
dove,
trust a raven. Always give it to the dove.
dove came.
Don't send a raven to do a dove's
I
job.
reckon the Raven found another ark, an unofficial ark that was just like a party ark.
No, look, come on.
No,
Come on.
right, so the dove came back.
Yeah.
So he said, right, there must be dry land somewhere. Right?
Okay.
So anyway, he was like, let's just hang about.
Why do you think that?
Because he found a twig or something.
Exactly. Say what you. Why could that be the top of a tree though? Why could it? How did he know that?
don't
Rick,
know.
if you are going to add to this, we are never going to get it done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Right, so there was mud everywhere because the water went down. Mud everywhere.
Where did the water go?
Shut up, why just
Where did it go?
Shut up, we haven't got time to go into
It doesn't make sense. If the whole world was flooded, where did the water
We have not
go?
got time for this.
Where did the water go?
This is mental.
Did they refreeze the ice caps? What? Tell me. Is it? It's got to be
It didn't
specific.
say it was a kid's Bible, wasn't it? It wasn't going in depth. It just said the water went away. Right?
Where?
It floated off. Oh, I can't be bothered.
ELO, we've had an email here. It says, stop rambling and get on with it. How about some ELO? Well, there it is. And he asked us to dedicate it to his wife, Fiona McCallum, and that's love from Penji, or Pengi, or Pengu, or something.
He's got to realise that if we didn't ramble, we wouldn't have a show.
This is it.
This is what we do. When you've got Karl opposite you, there's nothing out. It can't be done.
Put on a CD if you don't want to hear the rambling. These people who email into a radio station go, play some ELO, well, put a CD on. You must have the greatest hits of ELO. If you want to hear it so much, why are you phoning up a radio
Well, I
station?
think it's more the dedication. You know, he just wants to tell his
Yeah,
wife.
but, you know,
So
do it on a better show.
What than this?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
gotta be any. In the second hour, we've got more stuff to give. Third hour, my goodness me, we've already got through the second hour. We've got more stuff to give away. We've got, what else we got? We got Monkey News.
Oh, monkey news. That's what the nation's waiting for.
But, plus, Carl, we got more of your, biblical, retelling.
French food, you know. On 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC. Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now we've got some Red Hot Chili Peppers stuff to give away as well.
We've got a Red Hot Chili Peppers platinum disc.
Brilliant. Only platinum on this show.
Yeah.
None of your gold muck.
Absolutely.
None of
We
your-
need some kind of quiz question, because we want to make sure that only a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan gets this merchandise, obviously.
Okay, what about something like, famously they were, photographed with a sock over their what?
Anyone can get that.
That's too easy, isn't it? Notice I was all coy, I didn't want to say that. Why didn't I just say, oh no, because I was asking the question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I? Yeah. What would people phone in, do you think? They'd have to say, oh, that's no good. It was there. We know what it was over there. What would I say? On Radio 2?
John Thomas?
John Thomas, over there. They think that's probably a member of the band.
Yeah.
What do you say when you go to the doctor with your trouble? Look, okay, I know what we're talking about. We're talking about a man's parts downstairs. That's what they popped
Well,
us
if I
off
went to the doctor, I'd be honest. I'd just say, excuse me, doctor, I've got a problem with my penis.
Wouldn't that make you laugh, saying that? Even to a doctor, even though it's an official term. Wouldn't you be...
Well...
It's funny, isn't it, going to saying... Because you never use that term,
No,
do
it's
you?
because it's formal, I suppose.
It's like you're trying to sort of like put on airs and graces because
Yeah.
you're in the company of a doctor. What would you say?
What, if I had a problem?
Yeah.
I had to go to the doctor.
With your...
I probably wouldn't go.
What do you mean?
I'd show it to Suzanne and say, is that normal? No, I haven't. I mean, I'm 32,
Why
right?
should
I've
she
never.
know necessarily?
No, just, you know, they
She's
sort
not a doctor, and there's nothing about you that's normal. So I can only imagine.
No, but you know what I'm like, I have, you know, Suzanne, my girlfriend, wants me to go to that Wellman clinic. I've said, oh, no way.
Oh, yeah,
Unless I'm really ill.
Well, you should. You should get everything checked out.
I know,
but finger up the...
I know.
So what's the quiz question?
What's the funniest term for it? No. What do women call it when they go? Because that's even worse, isn't it? I don't know. What does your mum call her?
She's never sort of brought it up with me. What do you mean, what does she call it? Even when I was a kid, she didn't give it a name. It's just, even now.
What did she call yours then, when if you had, Mummy, I got a...
She didn't.
What, you never discussed? You had a pain?
No, just get on with it and that.
What did you say if you wanted to go to the toilet when you were little?
I'll just say, oh, I'm just nipping to the toilet.
No, when you were 3, you didn't say, alright, Mum, I'm just nipping to the toilet, get me fags ready when I come out, I'm dying for it.
I never gave it a name.
What do you mean? You never said, so how did you let your mum know I wanted to go to the toilet?
I think, well, we hadn't moved, we lived in the same house for ages, so I knew where the toilet was and stuff, and I just let
Not when you were 2!
Well, I honestly, I can't remember then, if I did have a name.
Spend a penny?
What do you say now?
Well, I don't have to announce it, I know where the toilet is. I don't understand the question.
I don't know, what's the quick question? Oh, this is difficult, isn't it? We haven't planned this show.
We'll play a record.
Someone's accusing this show of being pre-recorded. Someone said, oh, is this pre-recorded? If we pre-recorded it, we'd have edited out the bad bits, wouldn't we?
Why would we have had that conversation?
It's like, oh, it's 10 past 12. Let's do headlines. I remember Karl trying to prove it was live last week, and he was saying things like, it's Christmas Eve.
Well, weirdly, actually, there's a couple of mentions of you. I always like to check where you're mentioned in the papers, Rick.
Right.
The Daily Mirror mentions you in their surveillance section. I don't know if you noticed this. This is where they kind of, you know, for instance, Kiefer Sutherland was spotted having a pint of Guinness in Dublin. Yeah. So that's interesting, apparently. And it says here, Ricky Gervais and others were seen at Jon Stewart's show at Prince Edward Theatre Soho. Wasn't that like 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
And I was on stage. That's why I was spotted. I was working. But I went on stage with him.
Spotted at Reading Comprehensive in 1973, Ricky Gervais. We've just had the news.
Also, my favourite one is Spotted. They have it in the Heat and stuff. And, my favourite was, Spotted on the set of his new movie, Johnny Depp. I mean, he's pretty much gonna be there.
That doesn't count, surely.
It's the same as Train Spotting. Oh, I saw the, 2:30 from Crew. Where was it? Crew. Yeah. What time was it? 2:30. There's a surprise.
Well, I was also looking through The Sun, and you can, again, if you want to prove that we're live, you can check this out in today's copy of The Sun. Flipping through, and, there's a picture of you, Rick, and it says at the top, comics, they're as funny as cancer. I thought, that's a bit harsh. And I mean, most people agree, and it turns out they don't mean that you're as hellish as that. It means that actually, you're apparently star sign Cancer. Is that true?
That's right, yeah.
Well, apparently, so is, Jennifer Saunders and, Peter Kay, Mira Sayao, and apparently that's the funniest of all these star signs.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that. No. I would disagree with it, because, whenever anyone says to me they're reading their stars, and say, what star sign are you? I give them a wrong one. They read it, they go, that's just you. I go, I'm not that.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, can I say twaddle? We've said penis, to hell with it, twaddle. It's twaddle. Black Star by Radiohead on BBC Radio 2 with me, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Right. I forgot to
set the quiz question.
I know, well I forgot.
How are you, can you even call yourself a DJ?
I don't!
What? Well, no, clearly. I mean, they're probably...
I'm a broadcaster.
We've got this, Red Hot Chili Peppers Platinum disc to give away.
Well, what about that one? What do you call your little...
That's your quiz question. On Radio 2, on New Year's Eve, your question is, what do you call your thing?
If you're a man, what do you call your little dinkle? If you're a lady, what do you call your... thingy front?
That's unbelievable.
Well, I don't know, do I? It's as arbitrary as anything. So that people, and other funny names, nothing nasty, and we'll read them out. Remember, we won't read it out if it's nasty, but what's the, you know, what did you call your little... What's your little name?
Unbelievable.
What?
I mean, it's BBC Radio 2.
So?
And that's the best you've come up with.
Have you seen the dregs they put on these shows? I mean, people who couldn't get a job anywhere else.
What are you talking about? It's top caliber broadcasters on this station.
Who?
I can't name off the top of my head. It's people who they don't want on Radio 1 anymore.
That's true, isn't it?
Alright, well, 88 291, 0500 288 291, or you can email gervais@bbc.co.uk. And what you I'm not even mentioning I'm not sullying my mouth.
What do you call your little ding-dong, your little willy wanky woo? What'd you call it? What'd you call...
Unbelievable.
Well, but there's some... we learned something.
And yeah. And we'll give away this platinum disc to, whoever's got the most droll, the most amusing, the most charming.
After What Do You Call Yours, another Bible reading.
One of of my songs of the year. It's Emily, by Stephen Fretwell. I really enjoyed that one.
Beautiful.
We are looking back at some of the big news stories of the year. Still to come, of course, I should just point out, we've got Monkey News.
Oh, that's the big one.
We've got the final part, it certainly is. We've got the final part of, Carl's sermon, and we haven't even got to Jesus Christ yet, so, you know, it's gonna be dynamite when that guy makes an appearance.
Yeah.
So we're all looking forward to that.
He better, because if he doesn't, you've missed out on quite a big thing in the Bible. Well, anyway, go on.
Plus, of course, you've just set this, possibly the worst quiz question I've ever heard on any radio station ever. Do you want to recap?
What do you call your, little...
Your little fellow or your little madam? Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
And you can win the, you can win the
Being
platinum disc.
rewarded for that.
Yeah.
Being rewarded with sharing with the nation what you call your little thingy.
Red Hot Chili Peppers platinum disc to give away. Carl, what have been some of the big news stories that have hit you this year?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Well, I don't really watch the news, do I? It gets me down a bit.
Sure.
Sometimes, you know, you're better off not knowing. I sometimes wonder about, you know, the way we've got satellites and stuff, and you know what's going on the other side of the world. Should we know? You know what I mean? Does it do us any good?
Right.
Knowing stuff? So, I mean, you've
That is
mentioned...
brilliant coming from Karl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing quote, isn't it? I mean, it's not we will fight them on the beaches, but, does it do you any good knowing stuff? It's pretty much what sums you up. I thought your New Year's resolution was to learn one thing a day.
All I'm saying is, normally, when you see people who are brainy, they never look like they're that happy.
Like who?
Einstein, Hawking. They all look a bit, like, fed up and that. They've got loads of knowledge.
Let's leave Hawking aside, with the way he looks, please.
Look at
You're
Einstein.
such an idiot, Karl. You're such an idiot.
Look at Einstein, then.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Then look at me. I'm happy. Right?
You have no reason to be, though.
Anyway,
And Einstein was happy. He was gallivanting around, he was having a laugh, he was going to parties, he was hanging out with Marilyn Monroe, he was loving it, he was inventing nuclear weapons, he was having a whale of a time.
Anyway, all I'm saying
He was, you know, hanging out with, what's his name, McFly?
Right.
It was brilliant.
So, normally, I just pick up on the stories that sort of make me go, oh, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Two that stuck out for me, in 2005. Blind people, not always using dogs now, they've got horses.
Well, that's ridiculous, that's not true.
What are you talking about?
It is true.
What do you mean?
They're trying it out. People, you know, they've got guide dogs and that.
Yes.
They're sort of saying, why stop there? They're giving
Well, do you know why?
You can't get a horse in a library.
Exactly.
What?
Because dogs can go into Tesco's with you, and go round to visit your auntie, and sit at your feet. What do you do with a horse?
No, well, it just cuts out the middleman. If the horse knows where it's going, person gets on the back, off it goes.
Oh, don't talk rubbish.
Where
True
did you read
story.
this?
Where do you read this,
I've got it printed off, I can show it to you.
Oh,
It's
so
in
it was
your
the
bag.
internet. Of course it was the internet. Yeah. I mean, when will you learn?
But why is that such a mad idea?
Because you haven't got the whole idea. I bet it is something. I bet there's a grain of truth to it, right? But there's no way that they're gonna be used like guide dogs. I mean, just think!
I'll look at the news story during the next song and we'll get to the
What
bottom
else?
of it.
What else? Well, there must be another news story that's got that.
Yeah, there's another one.
Go on.
Chickens and that.
Go on.
A fella had a problem with a chicken, wasn't laying enough eggs and that. He got an axe, put it next to its little house that he was living in, panicked it a bit, laid loads of eggs.
I don't. How is that a major news story?
No, it's not major, but it's interesting, isn't it?
What?
Well,
Frightening a chicken into laying an egg?
Yeah. No, they're sort of the two things
That's
that...
the only two news stories
That's
of the year that have
amazing.
caught your attention.
I mean, that's plus monkey news. Obviously, every week you keep up to date with monkey news.
But what do you think about when you hear about that chicken? What?
I don't think anything of it because it came from you, so you probably got something wrong. Or it was a little fluff piece in a tabloid that just someone, they had a slow news day that day. You know, there
Now,
was...
Rick, am I right in saying that Karl himself made the news this year? Because wasn't it right that, a friend of your girlfriend's had read about him, apparently you were slagging off Cornwall somewhere?
Yeah, my girlfriend's sister live in Cornwall, and you were the front, sort of story on, something like the Western something or other edition, slagging off Cornwall.
What are you on about?
What have you been up to?
What have you said? What have you said about Cornwall?
I haven't said anything. I like Cornwall.
Yeah, but you must have said something, or they wouldn't have they mentioned Karl Pilkington.
You've been slagging off, apparently.
I love Cornwall. I love going there.
What have you ever said anything about it negatively?
What was that thing? Oh, didn't you slag someone off at Mevagissey? You went into a pub in Mevagissey.
Yeah, and he was airy. That's that one fella. There was a sort of... I went in there, and they're really friendly and everything in Cornwall.
Yeah.
If you're listening, that
Don't
there.
creep.
No, but I like it. If I wanted to retire and that early, that's where I'd go and live.
I wouldn't now.
But I went there, right, in this little place called Mevagissey, and went into a pub, and the woman behind the bar was all friendly and going, it was around Christmas time, and she said, oh, what we normally do is, like, have a fancy dress and stuff, She said, "Yeah, I'll show you some pictures," right? And she was going through, and there was a picture of someone there, and I said, "God, what's he come as? Look at him, he's well hairy." And she said, "Oh, he just works behind the bar, he wasn't dressed as anything." And he came out round the corner, hairy fella. but there's no way that made the paper.
Have you said anything else negative about it?
When was the last time you were in Cornwall?
It was, we took someone for a wedding present, we took someone on holiday there for a week. There was a fella on the beach who, he worked in one of them huts, you know how they sell deck chairs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's a pretty nice job, especially in the summer, innit? The sun's out, you sat there, all you've got to do is talk to people, say, "What do you want? 2 deck chairs? There you go, no problem, see you later." But this fella, right, I went in there, got the chairs, took them back, he was being really moody. He said, "So you got a lot of sand on them?" I said, "Well, there's loads of it out there." It's not a surprise that he stuck on, and he had a bit of a moan at me. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned that sort of.
Well, maybe
openly.
he recognised you.
But that isn't a diss. That's one person, isn't it?
If you're from Cornwall and you've got any reason to
But there's
dislike
not many people live in Cornwall. It's a very small community. I mean, no wonder they don't want to be part of us with people like you slagging them off.
I love Cornwall. Got nothing
So do I.
against
I think Cornwall's beautiful. You're an idiot.
Uh-huh.
Don't. Anyone in Cornwall, do not judge the rest of the nation by Karl Pilkington. It's not fair. I sometimes wonder imagine if he's the one that archaeologists dig up in a million years' time.
Yeah.
And find some of his notes, and they measure the head and everything, and then some of the ramblings that he did. Do you know
Or
what
if
I mean?
an alien comes down, it would just be him that they'd bump into.
That would be just our luck, wouldn't
I
it?
tell you what, though, talking of like education and that, I know I'm sort of not the brightest bloke knocking about and that, right? But I treat myself the other day to a new mobile, right? And you know, going through it, getting used to how to send text and all that. And you know the predictive text?
Yeah.
So if you send a text, you type it in, and that sort of guesses what you're going to write out, right? And it's new, so it doesn't really know me yet, right? And I was sending a text to someone to say something like, "I ain't got a clue" or something, right? Wrote ain't, right? A-I-N-T. Looked up at the screen to make sure that he'd written it right. That had written up biotechnology.
What?
That had predicted that I was gonna use the word biotechnology. I am never gonna use that word. Ever.
What? I ain't got a clue?
No, ain't. A-I-N-T.
Yeah.
I wrote that, just A-I-N-T on the phone. Looked up.
I love the fact that you've got a cleverer phone than you.
People have been wondering whether the show is live or if it's pre-recorded. Well, if it weren't live, then how could Grace email in telling us how much she hates the show?
Brilliant.
She says, she says, "Dear Ricky, I think you are a prat."
She's got my attention already.
She opens with that, comes in straight away.
That's her opening gambit.
But she doesn't just leave it there, she qualifies it. She says, "All you do is slag people off on your show and think it's funny." I disagree. We've slagged off Karl.
Yeah.
But he's pretty much the only one.
But Karl, all I've said is you are stupid, and, I mean, by your own admission, you must know you're stupid, don't you?
You know, I'll get by on that, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a fair comment, isn't it? The other people we slagged off are people who like to see foxes ripped to pieces, so which I stand by.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
I'm sick of listening to you be rude about the world and certain people. Rude about the world? Are we being rude about the world? Well, anyway, I have to turn off the radio. I'm surprised anyone listens to you. Please try growing up.
Oh, she missed her dedication. Oh, that's a shame.
What annoys me with Grace is that,
Nothing annoys me about Grace. Careful, what are you doing?
all I say is I think she's, no, I'm saying she's, I'm saying, Rick, she should have criticised us for the obvious problems. We're incompetent.
We're not very good
not
at all.
Entertaining. We drone on too much.
Yeah, but we don't slag off the world. We love the world. We love the world and Karl. In fact, the thing is about the world and Karl is that he's the same shape as the world, and that's why I like him, because that's all you need there, little round.
I can't help but think the pot calling the kettle black there, Rick.
What? My body's round. My head is sort of fat and square. So how dare you?
Just quickly before we move on to the final bit of the sermon, we just thinking back to some of the other highlights of the year. One of mine, Rick, I'm sure one of yours, Live 8.
Live 8 was great
fun. Not only was it a great day, but obviously you know, it made its message very much clear and open to the world. Did you enjoy Live 8, Karl?
Yeah, it was all right. It's, you know, quite a good thing. I mean, has it sorted the problems out, or?
Well, it's more about raising awareness, isn't it, and bringing that to the world's attention.
I'm aware of it, so yeah, it's sort of done the job on that. But I read something about,
Unbelievable.
Do you know, but, you know, because Live 8 was all about money and stuff, wasn't it, giving money and
No, it wasn't really.
Well.
It was about awareness, but it was about, the G8,
Dropping the debt.
cancelling the debt to the, I think, the 20th poorest nations or something, which I think.
Yeah. Well, then I was reading up on that, and there was something about, do you know Bill Gates?
Yeah.
Who did, the computer stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's the wealthiest,
Microsoft.
wealthiest man in the world or something.
Absolutely. The first 100 billionaire.
Wow.
Was he?
That is a lot of money. Because they worked out, they put to him that, with his labour, what his labour's worth, he would have to drop over $6,000 to be bothered to pick it up.
Wow.
And they asked him, and he said, well, of course I'd pick it up, you know, because it doesn't work like that. But yes, he's that rich.
But he could just pay someone to do it as well, couldn't he?
Okay, get on with it, Carl. Again, you've missed the point. Again, you've missed the point.
But all I'm saying...
Sorry,
right,
Gracie, in wherever you are, Carl's an idiot, and I stand by it.
Bill Gates...
And don't rip foxes to pieces.
He's got that much money, right? He's saying that he could give everyone in the world, right, £6.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, right? And just what I was thinking and what I would to say to you is see what you think, right? Do you think it's fair that everybody gets £6?
Right, why? What's your point?
What do you mean? You should mean the poor should get more?
Well, no, not really. What I mean is, say like if you live in Africa, right?
Yeah.
You can get a lot more for, say, £1 there than you can in London. So what I'm saying is, rather than £6 each,
Yeah.
maybe give people in London a tenner each. In Africa or whatever, give them about £3, £3.50.
So you're saying, give the poorest people less, so they can get as much for their money in their Argos?
Yeah, basically.
You're saying, if you were to redistribute wealth, you'd give the poor people slightly less than the rich people because they've got a higher standard of living. Gracie, once again, can I come back to you on this? Do you know now why I call him idiot? Oh, you know what I like about Gracie? She told the truth and she put her name. It's Grace, actually. She put her name down. Some people, I mean, just say you're a prat and they believe
They just shout at you across the street. Oh, fat man! You're not funny!
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, I rest my case. Carl, you're an idiot.
Alright.
Robert Post and a song called Got None, one of my favourites of the year. It's almost the end of this. Radio 2, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
It's been a pleasure doing these two specials. If we're invited again, keep your emails coming. Not Grace. Keep your emails to yourself. No, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Please send them in, and we learnt something, haven't we, Carl? No, he hasn't.
Well,
okay, good. It was a long shot.
Yeah.
It was, you know what I mean?
Chances were slim.
Yeah, I know. But we've been doing a sermon because, we've got a lot of vicars listening for some reason. And think of that. We're hardly their pin-up, are we? You know what I mean? The vicar's going, oh, I must listen to that show. It's so cool. And there was a thing in the, I think the Mirror this week about, vicars are now, podcasting. They're, doing their sermon as a podcast and download it for busy people who can't get to church all the time. And they're the chart of the what's the #1 podcast in the world?
Well, I think it's Ricky Gervais podcast.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. #1 in the world. Yes, it is. So that's why we're doing this. In fact, we should, you should do a full version of this and put it on. Yeah, let's do it. For people who can't, because this is valuable, time, and Grace doesn't want to hear it. So just do the final, I suppose, what would you call this? Summing up with the Bible, then we do a longer one.
Well, no, it's not sort of summed up. Because, to be honest, after the Noah bit and stuff, I was a bit like, oh, this is
Oh, just do it. Just do it. Okay, this is the final episode of the Bible. Well, the greatest story ever told.
No, but it's not the final chapter. This is just another bit in it that I thought I can relate to.
Get to the end.
You couldn't even read a children's Bible. They had to go to Waterstones and ask 2 people for, and they put it in a brown paper bag.
It was 200 and odd pages and that.
Oh.
So, the one that I picked up on, right, that I could relate to.
Okay.
Do you know, Samson and Delilah?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what happened in that?
Yes.
Right, well, just in case you haven't heard the story of Samson and Delilah, what it is, I think God had a word with, some bloke, I can't remember his name, I think it's Manoah or something his name was.
Right.
He said, listen, I'm still having problems, Adam and Eve let me down.
He didn't say that, by the way. Anyone listening, at no point has God ever said, Adam and Eve let me down.
No,
anyway.
and then he had a word with Noah, he did the boat thing, so he said, I can't ask for 2 favours, right? Sure. So he asked this other bloke, Manoah.
He was happy with Noah, though, was he?
Yeah, he let him go on, though. It's like jury service, once you've done it, you're left alone for a bit, aren't you? So anyway,
he didn't bother getting the fish on the boat, did he?
I don't know.
They were happy, weren't they? Surely.
But anyway,
although was it salt water everywhere? Why didn't the freshwater fish die out?
Rick, I'm just gonna stop you there because you've still got to get monkey news in before 1 o'clock.
So he had a word with this fella, and he said, look, what I'm gonna do, you're gonna have a kid soon. It's gonna be a little boy, right? when he grows up he's gonna sort out my problems. So it was like a long-term plan that he had sorted, right? So anyway, they have the kid, right? They're happy. They've got a little baby boy. They go, right, what we'll do to show our respect to God, we'll never cut his hair, right? Because he'll like that, right?
We're still in the Old Testament, aren't we?
I don't think Jesus is gonna make an appearance,
So they called him Samson, right? And, he grew up, right? Never cut his hair. His hair made him strong, right? He was going about, he was helping people out, he was stopping wars and that, because he was so strong. His hair made him strong and that, apparently. Anyway, nobody knew that. Nobody knew it was his hair that did the job. So, this is right so far, isn't it?
I don't know the ins and outs.
So anyway, what happened is, women are loving him all of a sudden. He's got nice long hair and that, he looks the part, he's stopping problems. Women are going, he's a good fella, isn't he, this Samson bloke?
Like Stringfellow.
Anyway.
That's the power of pulling, is in Stringfellow's hair. That's why he never cuts it.
Exactly.
Whatever the decade, Peter Stringfellow never cuts his hair, because that's where the power lies.
Anyway, he didn't realise he had this power until one day, he got up, right, did his hair and that, went out, a lion jumped out.
Oh.
He killed it with his hands, with his bare hands.
Wow.
Right? So again, Noah was a bit annoyed, because that's one of the ones that he saved. But anyway, right, so he goes, I can't believe this power I've got, right? I'm gonna, like, sort out the world's
Didn't the lion have long hair, though, as well? Well, no, we'll just what?
No, but, you're always picking on to be honest, though, that's as far as I got, anyway. So...
That's it. So if you were interested by those, you can buy the Bible in all good bookshops and read the rest. Is that what you're saying?
Or any religious book.
Yes, we don't remember the Torah, the Quran.
Somewhere Only We Know, by Keane, on BBC Radio 2. Right, it's that time again. It's what the nation's been waiting for.
Yeah.
Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news!
Right, this is something that I do know about, alright? If monkeys have been up to anything in the world, this is what I'm on. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm on top of this. This one, it's pretty recent. Monkey was knocking about New York. He got locked up for, like, nicking stuff and all the rest of it, right? Anyway, that's the part.
I don't know where I'd point this.
Well, hang on,
Steve, does that?
But you know what I mean? If that's the opening gambit, if I don't come in there, when do I come in?
Right,
I mean, if I don't pick him up on that, when do I come in?
Steve, I can show you the original.
Nicking stuff.
Anyway, so he worked on a plan to escape.
Oh, shut up!
Right, and he'd worked it all out. He saw the bloke with the keys and that.
How do we know this? How do we know this?
This isn't even the main bit of the story. I wouldn't even worry about it.
Because
please.
No, because he's embellished and it's.
So anyway,
I've said this before. I'm going to say it now. You do not interrupt the news. It's the news.
So anyway, right. So the monkey gets out. He's roaming about free. Word gets out that he's escaped and that, right? The copper, I think his name's P.C. Wilcox of NYPD, right?
Police Constable Wilcox of the New York Police Constable Wilcox.
Leave it. Yeah. We've only got a few minutes left, please.
Dixon of Queens.
So he got a call to sort of assist, you know, this monkey roaming about.
P.C. Wilcox of the New York PD.
Ricky!
Because they were having problems catching it. Right?
So he was called in.
So he was out on his motorbike looking what's going on. Anyway, cut a long story short, he manages to catch up with the monkey. Right?
Why did the monkey have a car?
He got it in like a little alleyway.
Why did the monkey steal a car, Carl?
Anyway, so he had him, he gave him the rights and everything, you know, everything he used to say and all that business. He said,
whoa,
Steve.
Monkeys don't talk.
So Steve.
Carl, monkey, he didn't need to say anything you say, maybe take it down.
So anyway,
Carl, look
Steve,
at me
right?
as well.
No,
Carl,
I'm just telling Steve because he's listening.
But, Carl, think of what you're saying.
Put stuff down. So anyway, cop, you know, the monkey's like fair cop, right? He's on the back of the motorbike being taken back to the station.
Yeah.
Oh, God!
Anyway, Wilcox gets a call on the radio, saying, you know, listen, there's been another problem.
Oh no.
Right? Will you?
There was a diversion. There was a gang.
There was a gang. Right?
Oh.
So he said, "Can you go and sort it out?" And he's like, "Well, I've got a monkey on my back." He said, "Well, take it with you."
Was he on drugs?
So anyway,
isn't that what junkies say?
So he goes down to the scene where it's all kicking off. Monkey's just sat on the motorbike, thinking, "I'm not going to try and get away. It'll just make the matter worse." Right? He's sat there. The gang.
Hold on, was he wearing a crash helmet?
The gang, sort of, you know, he saw all that going off. Copper goes up.
Sorry, was this a gang of humans?
So anyway, it's kicking off, right? There's a gang, and they're all having a fight and what have you. Anyway, it gets out of hand, because Wilcox, even though he sort of helps out the person who was being beaten up, he walks off, the gang starts picking on the copper.
Oh no.
So, the monkey thinks, best help out here.
Oh!
He goes up, right?
no.
Anyway, cut a long story short.
Yeah.
They let the monkey off. He got keys to the city. Steve,
How did he help out the policeman?
have a look at that. Have a look. There's the facts.
It's not fact. It never happened.
That's the fact.
I mean, everything about it's wrong. Everything about it is nonsense.
Steve.
Well, all I say is there's a picture here of a monkey brandishing a gun. If that's not truth, if that's not fact,
Have a look.
then there it is right there.
What is it? Should we have some real news?
Well, what is that?
I'm dumbfounded by that monkey news.
But it's all there, Steve.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give it a full assessment.
Let's see if there's the news coming up. See if there's any stories like that in this. Right, on 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC.